Yes. Hey, that intro is what's up, dude. I love that.
Cracks me up every time I see it, man.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. What is shaking, everybody? Welcome back to Turntable Tales right here on the Spins Vinyl and Mr. Hall of Fame simulcast. What's up, dude? How's it going?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. How about yourself? You hanging in there?
I'm hanging in there. I'm hanging in there. How's your fourth? Did you end up doing anything or?
It's kind of an interesting fourth, actually. My birthday was a couple days before, but didn't really do a heck of a lot for that. We were open at the shop until about 4 p.m. We kind of cut the day a little bit short. We figured the night of the 4th, but we had decent traffic throughout the day. So I worked at the shop that morning, but then it was also kind of crazy because the shop is about 35 minutes away from where I live, 35, 40 minutes. And we got a little bit of rain out there, but as I was driving home on the 4th around 5 or 6 o'clock, I get towards my neighborhood and I'm seeing trees down and trees on top of cars and trees on top of roofs and stuff all over the road. And I'm like, what the heck happened here? And so when I was at the shop on the 4th, some type of storm came through my neighborhood and just did like a lot of freaking damage. But, luckily my house, thankfully wasn't hit or anything like that, but we didn't have power for over 24 hours and all that. So it was a pretty crazy 4th, that's for sure.
That's crazy, dude.
How was yours?
I should have went first. Mine was very uneventful. Usually my 4th is just some combination of just like not wanting my neighbors to burn my house down, keep my dog chill, get to bed early, have the sound machine going so the dog's cool and everything, and yeah, so that's pretty much how we spend my 4th. There we go. I just updated the banner so people can see what we're actually doing today. So yeah, not much. Hope everybody did have a good 4th, and hope everyone is having a good 7th. What's up, Michael? What's up? The doctor is in the house. Dr. Johnny Fever, what's up, baby? Today, I think is going to be fun, man. I think what we're doing today is we have a list, but this is going to be cool, and I think you guys are going to like this. I want you guys to join in, be heavy in the chat, and let us know what you think. We're going to do an I get it / I don't get it when it comes to bands. And this comes up, I think, a conversation with all of us, right? It's kind of like there's these bands that you're supposed to like. Everybody likes them, and you try with all your might. We want to like good music, right? And you just don't get it. So today, Brandon and I came up with a list of 25 artists. And these are artists that are, these are the artists we're all supposed to love, right? But I also tried to pick artists that I think maybe have a reputation for being a little polarizing. Maybe people hate them as much as they love them. And so we're going to rock the vote, our vote, but we also want you guys to rock your vote. We're going to talk about why or why not we get it. And we want you guys to tell us, look, if we don't get something and you guys are like, what? Explain why we should get it. Tell us, where do we start? How do we tip the scale so that we can get this stuff? Because these are all bands we're supposed to get. So Michael already chiming in. Green Day sucks. They didn't even make the list. but you know what, though, dude? I'm with Michael.
I can see him like typing really fast and like punching the enter button.
I'm with you, Michael. I don't get it. I don't get it. When Dookie first came out, I was all about it. But when they just took on and they were like a sensation and like, I was like, come on, bro. Anyway, it's gonna be we might have fisticuffs before the end of the night, because this is one of those conversations where it's like, man, when we don't get your favorite band, woo. So we're trying to keep it clean. Let's try to keep no punches below the belt, anything like that. Swift and Madden, I'll start the.
Almost have tears come out of my eyes right now, because it's just like nobody has said anything, and he's like, Green Day sucks.
Green Day sucks. I'm calling it right now. Oh, that's good. Awesome. Swifty's got the Beatles on the list. Don't worry, Swifty. We're going to take care of you tonight.
Oh gosh.
And stay till the end, because it's 25 bands. Of course, we're saving some of the best ones for last. So this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
All right. just to kind of grease the skid. So I'm going to show the list. It's going to shrink us down a little bit, but that way you guys can see kind of everybody that's on here. And yeah, I think we're going to start off with a couple that might be a somewhat obvious contenders here, just to kind of grease the skids, and then we will fly through. So what do you think? Showing the list is good, or should we surprise people as we go? What do you think? If we show the list, everybody knows what's, because now I'm kind of like, do we show it?
Yeah. I mean, I think showing the list is good because I think most of the band names are so common and so big. It's more about the curiosity of if you get it or not. So I think showing the list would be cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Give us I'll let you guys weigh in on this.
That's a good idea.
I gotta admit, now I'm torn because I'm kind of like, it's fun to just like drop a band name and then everybody can kind of, there's not a lot of thought. You know what? Let's not show the list, dude. I'm sorry. I think let's let people, let's hit them with it in the moment, and let's give people, I don't want to give people half an hour to think about it. So let's just do it this way. If that's cool. I'm making the executive decision on this. So this is a collective list we both came up with, and let's start.
All right.
Number one band. I guess let's just go back and forth. Is that cool? I'll do one, you do one, and we'll just do it that way.
That works.
All right. Band number one, Oasis. Get it or don't get it? I don't believe that anybody. You get it or you don't. Okay. Well, should we just do it? 1, 2, 3, a thumbs up, thumbs down?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right.
Well, wait a second. I guess something we didn't clarify. Maybe we should have talked about this before we, like, if we say, let's say, for example, if it's a band like, I don't know, let's say it's like Metallica, and maybe somebody says like, yeah, I like some Metallica songs, but I don't get why they're as big as they are. Like, sure, I like some of their stuff, but is that I get it or I don't get it? I don't get how big they are, and I don't get the beast of Metallica, or I get it because I do like some of their songs. We didn't really discuss that.
Yeah, I feel like if I get it, then it's someone that you enjoy listening to. You probably have an album of theirs,
Okay.
If it's someone that I just don't ever put in the playlist, that I'm, and we could give our reasoning, maybe we're somewhere in the middle, but to me, I think that's a don't get it. If I got it, like, that's someone that I want to have them in the collection. That's someone that they're on the playlist, on Spotify or whatever. What do you think? Man, so many rules.
Yeah, I think that there's a number of them on there that's kind of like I get it, but I don't get it like the way that they actually are portrayed and the way they are in the music world. I don't get that.
Yeah, so I think that's a don't get it. If you don't get the hype, if you don't get why they're like people go crazy for them and nuts for them and stuff like that, then
there you go. That's what I'm looking for. Perfect.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that.
All right.
Oasis. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, a double don't get it. Oh, okay. Why don't you get it?
Well, I think it kind of for the reasons I was just asking. Like, I have a couple of different Oasis albums. What's the Story? Morning Glory is a good album, and I love the hits and the mainstream stuff. As big as Oasis became, and just all of the stuff surrounding them, I don't understand. I don't get how their catalog made it to that status. Like the music just is not that good. I love the stuff that I love, and the hits are fantastic. And like I said, I have the albums and the whole nine. I've listened to them many times over my lifetime. But yeah, I don't get how to some degree they were, fooling around in like Beatles, Beach Boys status in the UK and stuff like that. I don't get that at all. They're not that great.
That's my sentiment exactly, dude. Way too big for their britches. Like,
right.
It's fine, but it's like as soon as something gets, and I think a lot of people feel this way. Like, we kind of mess with the Beatles, maybe we kind of mess with the Grateful Dead, but it's the fact that they've been blown into this like God status where we go, come on, man. And to me, Oasis is the epitome of that. Like, no. When I hear them, I hear too much other music in their music. And for what, and for just people going crazy for it and stuff, it's just like, And trust me, guys, I went through this list and we tried to like listen to some, refresh my memory. Hey, maybe I'm missing something. Let's see here. I don't like it. And I don't like the bad attitude on top of it. It's like, no, bro, you're not as cool as you think you are. So yeah, for me, it's a 2 thumbs down on Oasis.
Yeah, it even took me a while to get into them because back in college when they first came out, I remember the girl I was dating at the time, she loved them. And I couldn't stand them. I would hear, Wonderwall come on the radio and just be like, oh my God, turn this garbage off. So I even had to grow to love them. But yeah, I don't understand just that mega status that they rose to. Makes no sense.
Yep. All right, Swifty got a thumbs down. Michael, don't get it a bit. Almost worse than Green Day. Oh, dang. Oasis are Oasis are the Plastic Beatles. Big thumbs down today. All right. Hey, chime in with the thumbs up if you guys are feeling it. But yeah, so far we got a resounding thumbs down for Oasis.
Everybody, all of us.
Just to back up a little bit, Johnny Fever don't understand Morrissey. Morrissey, spoiler alert, did not make the list, but that's a great one. Zappa needs to be on the list. Man, Swifty, come on. You're giving away all of our secrets here. Spoiler alert. And then we got some beloved bands I haven't fully come around to. Talk, Ween, and My Morning Jacket comes from Elk.
I
understand. Yeah, totally. I totally get that.
I understand those.
All right. Let's go to band 2, artist 2. And you almost wanted to remove this one because you were like, isn't this super obvious? And initially I was thinking about the collaboration between this artist and another artist, but let's just go there. Yoko Ono. Again, we're just trying to set the pace here so people get what we're doing. But thoughts on Yoko Ono? Should we just do a 1, 2, 3 right now?
Sure.
1, 2, 3. And sorry, Yoko.
Her name says it all. Yoko. Oh no.
Yeah, if every time you walk in a room somebody goes, oh no, then hey.
Yeah.
It must be bad.
I mean, let's put it this way. If you ever saw that clip where John Lennon was performing with Chuck Berry, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
And freaking Yono kicks in. The look on Chuck's face just tells you everything you need to know.
What is happening right now, dude? And John, you almost feel bad. Like John is trying so hard not to diss his wife at that, but you could almost see through into his mind going like, just shut up. I'm on stage with Chuck Berry.
I know.
I don't know, man.
They like cutting her mic or something?
Maybe.
I think they did. But yeah, just go watch that clip and Chuck Berry's face tells you everything you need to know. I just feel like he was one of the only artists that was willing to go, what? Just no, in my mind, no musical value whatsoever. Just garbage. Absolute garbage.
And I get some people are into the avant-garde and and all that stuff and the whatever, but it's just, I'm not trying to listen to music like that. So if you want to call it that, Michael Elliott Morrissey is brilliant. Okay, we'll do Morrissey real quick. I mean, I thumbs up, especially with the Smiths and some solo stuff that he did. I'm not saying I'm a huge fan of him as a person. And I don't have anything against him as a human being or anything, but I don't mess with his personality that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, his music's awesome. I mean, and Johnny Marr, I mean, them together is brilliant sometimes. So yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I would kind of give him a thumbs up in the context that, when I listen to the Smiths or Morrissey, I only like the stuff that I like, and the other stuff is just like very, very okay-ish, maybe even below okay-ish. But the thing I've always felt is kind of special about Morrissey, though, is the fact that even like lyrically, I don't think he's that great. I just think like the way he sings, he can talk about anything and it just becomes a lyric that sounds right because it's coming out in that Morrissey delivery.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Well, I think of it like, I think exactly what you're saying. And it's funny that Robert Smith and Morrissey have a beef, right? They like, at least, I think I watched a video, there's a lot of clips where Robert Smith does not mince words, but somebody like compared him to Morrissey and the Smiths in terms of like the tone of their music. And he's like, that's a very unfortunate comparison. I don't like the guy at all.
Yeah.
But in terms of, I think what you're describing, you could make the same argument for Robert Smith, a very unique vocal. And, I know there's people that don't like Robert Smith's voice at all.
Yeah.
And it's probably an acquired taste, but it serves the music, right? And I think the same thing you could say for Morrissey, like it serves the Smiths and it serves the music.
Yeah. I mean, like he'll literally just kind of talk you through making a tuna fish sandwich and just be like, I spread the mustard today and it was creamy. Like it's just like what do you talk? Like if you listen to your lyrics, you sound so freaking stupid. And I smashed 2 pieces of bread together, and it's just like okay, he's talking about making a tuna fish sandwich, but it
I
sounds
added
cool.
mayonnaise. Yeah, exactly. Springsteen rounds out my top 3, says Swifty. Springsteen not making the list. I thought about it. I did think about Springsteen, I'll be honest. Plastic Ono Band, first album with John Lennon. After that, yeah, Michael. I'll be honest, I don't know enough about the Yoko I've heard has turned me off so bad that I just had no interest to even like try to find anything that I, might be salvageable, but yeah, maybe. I know a lot of people love that record. Randomy Oko 2. Oh yeah, says Salzine. Sorry, turn off there we go, the alarm. Okay, next up on the list. And maybe this is the first one that's going to cause a little controversy, not be so obvious. I'm curious to know what other people think. Creedence Clearwater Revival, CCR. Creedence Clearwater Revival, right? So maybe I'm gonna let you let's do our 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna let you kick this off.
Okay.
And we'll just go that route. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 2 thumbs up for Creedence and 1 thumb down. All right, it's the first time we've got some controversy on set. Why 2 thumbs up for Creedence?
Because they're freaking fantastic. It's such a perfect mixture of kind of classic rock, country, and bluegrass kind of all coming together in like the most perfect way that all of that can come together. I know just everything there's something very genuine behind that music. And maybe it's because like you didn't have so many stars in the band, we're kind of Fogerty for the most part kind of, drove everything, controlled everything, and everyone kind of followed for the most part. But just talk about a band that you can just put on stage with no thrills or frills or stage show or whatever else, just plug in their guitars and play and just bring some of the most amazing, just kind of heartfelt, emotional music in that classic rock bluegrass kind of flavor. And it's just really something special they did, song after song after song. I mean, just fantastic stuff. So I'm a huge CCR fan.
When did you start listening to CCR? How old were you?
I would have to say pretty young, where there were songs that I knew, like, you hear Down on the Corner and stuff like that. I didn't know, like, oh, this is CCR. It's a song you heard in the movie. It was a song that popped up here all the time. So from like I would say junior high years on, I was hearing CCR without knowing it was CCR.
Right.
And then somewhere as an adult, oh, here's Chronicles, the greatest hits, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But everybody heard Bad Moon Rising. I mean, American Werewolf in London. Remember that movie? Back in the 80s.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good song. Okay.
Yeah, Bad Moon Rising was in that. And so, yeah, you heard them all over the place.
Right,
Sorry,
right.
Go for it.
No. I was just going to say, because I was trying, sometimes I think it matters, like when you first hear a band.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of like, how nostalgic is it for you, or, what were the circumstances, kind of how you came into it. I don't know what it is, dude. There's something about that. I hate to say it, but we talked about this before, right? That's why I added it today, was because we tried to go down the list of like Southern rock, I guess, and just see like how many bands did I really mess with. It wasn't that many. It was a pretty small list for me. So I just think I never really developed an ear for it. There's no other way to explain it, I guess. Not to say there's not something here and there that I'm not like, oh yeah, that's a good song or that's cool. I appreciate that song, probably because I identified it with something that I liked.
Right.
But overall, like, you're not going to catch a CCR record on my turntable or anything like that, or even in my collection. So
Wow.
it is what it is, and it's hard sometimes. I know we're going to get to some some on this list where the sentiment is flipped.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're going to find one that, that I mess with that you don't, but yeah, what are you going to do, man? You try to listen to this stuff and sometimes you just can't find that way in. Let's see what people are saying. Dr. Johnny, quickly on the Morrissey. That's exactly why Morrissey is not brilliant and always canceling shows at the drop of a hat. Yes. There isn't one song that warrants stopping up your shirt, but he makes it a thing. Another one, he loves himself, man. He loves himself, right? So, I don't know.
Dude will cancel a show, man. Holy cow. I've never bought a ticket for a Morrissey show whatsoever, and yet all I hear about is how he's canceling shows all the time.
And that's all we heard about when we were kids. Even I remember, I didn't know about the Smiths until my girlfriend in high school, when I'm like 16 years old in the mid 80s or whatever, mid to late 80s. And she turned me on to the Louder Than Bombs cassette, which I love. But then you start hearing stuff like, canceling shows or doing short shows and just dropping the mic and stuff, even back then. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like a shtick at this point,
Yeah, dude. I mean, I kid you not. I was on a flight out to New York, and this was that's like a few years ago. And there was a guy on the plane that, said he was going to a Morrissey show and it got canceled, and they were all disappointed because they'd already bought their tickets to go out to New York and see him and all that stuff. JC here in the VC had tickets where he got canceled on once, and he was saying, I hope I don't get canceled on again. And he got canceled on again. And just a few months ago at the shop, a lady came in and said, I'm going to see Morrissey this coming weekend. He was going to be at this place called not the Factory, but the Factory. And I said, if I were you, I would check, because I wouldn't be surprised if it gets canceled. And sure as crap, it got canceled. I mean, it's that predictable at this point in time.
Getting canceled is one thing. Like, if you can get your money back and stuff like that, I think it's coming out, doing 3 tunes and bailing. Mm-hmm. That's messed up, dude. Yeah. Buying tickets, driving back and forth, finding parking, paying for parking, herding like cattle to get to your seat and back, buying swag, the whole 9 yards, and you're going to give me 3 songs? I mean, no. I'd rather have you cancel it.
Right.
Okay. Thumbs up, Swifty. Love CCR, says the doctor. Crossover appeal. CCR is cool, says Michael. Fortunate son, yeah.
It's great.
No other thumbs down for CCR. I know, Swift. CCR is one of the most important American bands ever. And okay, you wait till we're going to get to a band where I'm going to make the argument that there's a more important American band than CCR. And I know what you're going to say, Swifty. I already know what you're going to say, but I'm going to hold my ground.
I would agree too. I would put CCR in top 5 most important American bands.
All right. I hope by the time we get to the bottom of this list, I hope I remember this when we get to the bottom. I've seen Morrissey twice. Thank God he didn't cancel, said Michael. Yes. The Groove Seeker in the house. What's up, baby? Swampy SoCal sounds, but can see how they don't carry for people. Thanks for being here, Groove Seeker. And Mr. Lavelle. What's up, Lavelle? Yeah, man, you didn't miss much. We're just going down. We just started going down this list of do you get it or you don't get it? And we're about to go to our 4th one. Okay, here we go. Another polarizing artist right here. We're going to do our thumbs up or thumbs up down after we count to 3. And it's Frank Zappa. Frank Zappa. 1, 2, 3. I thought you were.
I know. I had to sneak it on you.
No, dude, no. You tricked me. I kind of figured you were going to go with the thumbs down. Okay, let me go first on this one, dude. Why thumbs up on Zappa? Dude, Zappa is a genius. Zappa is one of the greatest guitar players of all time. He's one of the greatest someone who writes songs. What do you call that? Composer of all time. He's ahead of his time. Yeah, he writes music that's weird, but he brings the best musicians on. There are some albums that to me are desert island albums, one of them being Roxy and Elsewhere, double live album that just kills it. I think I get that he's polarizing. I get that some people don't like him. I get that that's his whole thing. Is like, look, he's not someone trying to write hits. He's someone that is doing his thing. And if you like it, fine. If you don't, there's a whole list of other bands to go listen to. And I just love Frank. When I listen to Frank's music, it puts me in a state where I have to put everything else on the back burner because I get so filled up with his music and expectations for greatness. And just, I don't know, what his vibe, that it makes it really hard to put on anything else. And I almost got to take a little break before I start putting on other stuff again. I love Frank. And I think in a lot of ways he's misunderstood, but, and I get it. I get his music's not easy, but when you ease your way in or you find the right way in, he's just a genius. So that's my way of thinking, dude. So why don't you get Frank Zappa?
For a lot of the same reasons you just said, actually.
I know, sorry. I just answer for me, dude. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, like, do I like the album like Hot Rats? It's like, yeah, I have that. It's probably the one Zappa album I felt like I listened to and I wanted. You know, I've heard some stuff off of some others of Inventions here and there, but just like for the most part, there's never been anything that like I put it on and like it just grabbed me to do, like you were saying, like, you know, dive deeper, get immersed, and like I can feel and sense what was going on there, and I'm connecting with where he's coming from. Like, I just never really had that experience with Zappa. Yeah. Now, granted, I have not gone through and listened to like so much of his catalog and really like go over, you know, like really dove down into it. But I've definitely spun a number of Mothers or, you know, just Zappa stuff over my lifetime. And like I said, really outside of Hot Rats, there was just nothing else that really kind of captured me to say, oh yeah, I want to hear that again. Just one of those things.
Gotcha. Yeah, and the other thing about Zappa is it's so much variety. He's got to be the most eclectic artist also. You know, you can pick up one of his first, three late 60s albums before Hot Rats came out. You're going to get one thing. There's a whole era. In fact, my favorite era is going to be like 69 to like 77, right around there, which is just a whole different Zappa. And then and even within that, you still get, some other things mixed in here and there. And then you get a whole different Zappa again. So, yeah, it just depends. It's funny. Somebody asked him, who is Zappa? And he's all, which Zappa are you talking about? The industrial strength Zappa? That was kind of funny, but nah, look, I love him. But yeah, I get it. So that's why he's on the list. All right, let's go down the list. Groove Seeker, a big thumbs up. Zappa gets a triple thumbs down. Swifty, I don't even know you. Zappa rules, Michael. Yes. See? All right. There are some sensible people here today. I'm kidding. Oh, I told you there was going to be fisticuffs. What's up, AZ Mig? Good to see you. Frank Zappa for me is Hot Rats and Shut Up and Play My Guitar. And that's it, says Lavelle. Group Seeker, has Mr. Hall of Fame heard Hot Rats? Yeah, I mean, you probably typed that in before he just went on into that one.
That's pretty much the only Zappa album that I say I actually love is Hot Rats. So yeah, we're here.
Yeah. Swifty, I'll give you he's a great musician, but I am out on his vocals and satire. I totally get it. And it's why I think the era that I like if that's a problem, the satirical piece and just sometimes just scathing, ripping on anybody and everybody, seemingly just to do it almost sometimes. I would stick to that corridor of early mid 70s because I think he's not as hardcore into the satire during that era. The early stuff, boom, straight up, very satirical. The later stuff is just brutal, but there's that pocket that I think is really enjoyable. Let's see, Overnight Sensation, Dirty Love, Shake Your Booty. One of the best musicians in history, George Duke. Almost every fantastic musician from jazz to rock played with him. Michael Elliott. Yes, we are simpatico once again. Yeah, the era where you get Terry Bozzio, I mean, who went on to start Missing Persons and all that stuff, man. Just an unbelievable drummer, unbelievable musicians. Okay, Group Seeker, listening to Zappa does take effort. It isn't always rewarding. I get that. Yeah. Michael Elliott.
Biggest split so far.
What's that?
It's probably the best even split so far for a choice.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And then lastly, Michael, Zappa is what is known as intelligent music. I'm glad Michael's on my side. All right. Last one, Swifty. Life's too short to try and force myself to like Zappa because all the cool kids do. Hey, thanks for calling me a cool kid.
There you go, Swifty.
And Michael. All right. Next up. All right, here we go. Don't go anywhere, Group Seeker. Next up on the list is a little Bobby Dylan. A little Bobby Dylan. A little Roberto Dylan. So how many different ways can I say it? All right, man. We'll do thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you get it? Do you not get it? 1, 2, 3. I shouldn't do 2 thumbs down. I'll do 1 thumbs down.
Okay.
We'll do one. We'll do one.
Yeah, I got 1 thumbs up.
All right. Why do you get Dylan?
And if we were getting technical about it, especially with an artist like Dylan, it would be like the early stages of Dylan's career, the latter stages of Dylan's career.
Okay.
But yeah, like when first coming onto the scene, just all the early stuff with Revisited and Blonde on Blonde and all of that. Yeah, I think there's definitely something that's special about that, and it's one of those things too where just the fact that I feel something and experience something with listening to that, while at the same time when someone says that's not even singing, that's not even, and you have to look at them and go, you're right, like it's not, and everything you're saying about why you don't like it is 100% true. Like it's easy to see the things that you're complaining about, but why does it ring right with me? It's like for some strange reason. And so like for me, just that alone, just the fact that I do like Bob Dylan, again, I'm talking mainly early Dylan and all of that, just kind of tells me that there's something that I just get, because you shouldn't. That should not be good music to you. It shouldn't. As crazy as it sounds, there's something wrong by the fact that you do like it. So the only way you can like it is to get it.
What you just said is really kind of inspired me to say, it's funny how music, I had a perfect way to say this, but it is loving something isn't always about greatness, or it doesn't even have to be about the music. So here's the thing with Dylan is like, I get the message, I get the time frame, I get how it changed music, I get what it's saying, I get what he's saying, I get the importance of the not just the time, but the people surrounding it and all the different things, and the Michael Bloomfield up on stage when they plugged in, and like I get all of that stuff, and it's very compelling, and it's sort of like the same thing. You could make the same argument with Zappa, is that there's points of interest where if you mess with that, you're going to grab onto these points of interest that are going to say like, it's more than the music. And in the sense, like the Grateful Dead, to me, it's like, it's more than the music. And sometimes it is just that thing. Mm-hmm. The thing with Bob Dylan is that I feel like, because I know that it's more than the music and I appreciate that it's more than the music, it means I want to like it. But I have to make myself, like, if I'm going to listen to some Dylan, it's like I'm forcing myself. There's never any part of me that says like, I feel like hearing some Dylan right now. I'm going to pop on some Dylan right now because I want to sing, or I want to move my feet, or I want to feel some kind of way. It's always like, I feel like I should put some Dylan on right now or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. And yeah, I don't know how else to explain it. I think it makes an argument for what I said, is that like, sometimes you have to kind of be there, or you have to have some kind of experience. We talked about sometimes it's seeing a documentary can help you. Sometimes understanding the story behind something can help you. I mean, is that weird? Like, why doesn't the music just speak for itself? But I totally get it, dude. It's like sometimes it does help. Sometimes knowing the backstory, understand the players. And I loved the biopic that came out a couple years ago, dude. I thought it was awesome, and I was into it, and I was feeling that whole Dylan vibe and stuff. And went out and got a couple Dylan records, and it's just like they just collect dust, you know. So
yeah.
That's my feeling about it. So I don't know. I don't know how you feel about that. And I don't even know if I made any sense with my argument, but in terms of like, sometimes it's not always just about the music itself.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. There's a context, that matches the vibration of that particular music. Got some, maybe I'm not saying it right, but I definitely agree with 100% with what you're saying. And the best way I've always kind of found to describe it is like if I sit here right now and go like that, right? you can look at that image and say like, what does it mean? But if you put it in the context of you're at a Pantera concert, people are like, that's a good time. Right. If you're at your kid's basketball game and they just hit a winning shot, it's about a pride thing. It's not about the same partying thing at Pantera. Or is that the baby in the crib crying because they're hungry, or it's all the same. But like when you start adding those contexts, there's a completely different vibe and feeling to the exact same motion. Yeah. And I think music's kind of the same way. So sometimes when you see, like you said, you see a documentary, it catches you at the right place in life when you're experiencing something else. And all of a sudden it's like, I always thought there was a kid crying, but now I'm actually experiencing it as a pride moment in my son or in my daughter. And now it's a whole different thing. That's the way I think, at least I've tried to describe it over the years. I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense in my head. Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. And it's a difficult thing to kind of describe, right? Because so much of it is just emotional, and so it's hard to put it into words. You know, we catch on to things because our parents turned us on to it, or we catch on to things because we were listening to it in high school, or our friends turned us on, or whatever. Sometimes we catch on to stuff later in life, and you know, it's something we didn't mess with, and then later we're like, and it just somehow we're in the perfect. In fact, I'll mention an artist later where that happened to me. Like later on, it was like something where it like hit me, and I was like, oh my god, this is genius. So anyway, let's see what other people are saying. Dr. Johnny, hey, if Deep Purple mentions Zappa in Smoke on the Water, it's got to be good. That's right. Very correct. Frank Zappa and the Mothers. Group singer, of course, a million thumbs up for Dylan. Swifty got the thumbs up on Dylan. Lavelle, thumbs up. Michael Elliott, no, on Dylan. Michael, dude, are we the same person? What's happening right now? He's got the thumbs down, 4 of them. And I even saw him live, but I got a ticket for free. So that's another argument I was going to make, is sometimes you see someone live and you just get caught up in it, right? And it's like, it's just cool being out seeing somebody live. Like you can see music you don't even really care for that much, and you're vibing out, maybe you've had a couple pops and you're kind of like, oh, you know what? All of a sudden I like, Creedence or whatever, but yeah, didn't happen for Michael. Dylan's voice drives me crazy. There it is.
Group Seeker, who probably knows more about Dylan than all of us. So I put this in high regard. Any comments that he has. Dylan has 40 studio albums. 32 of them are better than most artists' best. Man, I wish I could get to where you are. Thoughts on Dylan and the Dead Together? Asked Swifty. Okay, we can give thoughts on that. I'm going to put it this way. I have every single Grateful Dead album of the regular issued albums that came out during their, up until Without a Net, except Dylan and the Dead. So take that for what it's worth. Ron Martin says, welcome, Ron. How about Pat Benatar, Tom Petty, John Mellencamp, most overplayed and overrated artist I've ever heard? Uh-oh.
Hey.
Uh-oh.
Watch them fighting words right there.
Well, come on, dude. What's the saying about Pat Benatar?
Don't sleep on Pat.
I don't sleep on Pat.
Sleep on Pat. That's cool.
Comes back with Bobby's early period is pretty damn good. First 7 albums, ? Exclamation point. Top End with his "I don't give an S" attitude. He was always edgy. These 60s eras ones are definitely up there. Highway 61. You know, that's the one that I can have in the collection and sort of put on and really get in and, you know, enjoy it. I don't know if that says anything about me, but yeah, that's kind of the one I can get on the turntable. Dylan challenged the dead. The release didn't capture the best stuff, says Group Seeker. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. And I've actually heard that too. Yep. All right. Next up on the list is a little band called the Beach Boys. The Beach Boys, by the way, and most people maybe know this or maybe don't, but man, dude, the Beach Boys were the Beatles before the Beatles. And when the Beatles came out, there was a lot of neck and neck, a lot of competition. I think music in the 60s became music in the 60s because they were constantly trying to one up each other. It's well documented. But man, the Beach Boys were Elvis. You know, it kind of gets skipped over a little bit. I think a lot of times we think like it went Elvis and then it was the Beatles. The Beach Boys filled a massive niche right at that transition that I think gets forgotten. But I digress. Oh, man, I'm going to give away my pick here. But anyway, Beach Boys, 1, 2, 3. I knew it. More controversy in the BC. Oh, I'll let you go first because I think I know why you're giving them the finger right now. All right, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, okay, first and foremost, you can't take away like everything you just said. The Beach Boys were that to the world of music. Like if you're lying out your teeth if you just can't admit that and put that out there. I mean, one of the biggest things that ever happened to pop, rock, whatever you want to say. I guess the Beach Boys is one of those groups that everything seems very repetitive, number one. So if I already don't hear your genius and I'm hearing what is kind of very mediocre to me, then all I'm hearing is that same mediocre thing repeated over and over and over that Wilson keeps doing over and over and over and over and over. And it's just, so now all I'm experiencing is a bunch of mediocre stuff that I don't need to hear again, that everyone's just kind of creaming their pants about left and right all the time. And, oh, the Pet Sounds. And it's like, good gracious. And remember, and we kind of talked about doing this video, and I told you this past weekend, I'm going to sit and listen to Pet Sounds. Like maybe just wasn't the right time. And, you know, this is a point in my life where maybe it's going to kick in the same way. And so I went to my streamer, you know, put it on the high res. It's, you know, sounded great. And I'm like, it's the same old mediocre crap. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But it's like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
We talked about it last stream. I tried to tell you to wait for me. We'll listen to it in the same room. And somehow, like, through osmosis, you'll be able to, like, you know, anyway.
Yeah, I went back and tried. And again, it's like I can hear the stuff that are the hits, and you know, like you listen to "Wouldn't It Be Nice," and you kind of hear the like, you know, the melodies and the stuff like that, and you're like, yeah, you can understand why that became such a popular song and everything else. But like I said, it's just something that's just not. I don't get what's so special, and it doesn't help either about that whole, you know, swiping Sweet Little 16 by Little Richard for Surfing USA. Like I can never get over that either. That's something that just forever taints the Beach Boys, even though all kinds of groups were doing it. I mean, you know, Elvis did it, the Beatles did, Led Zeppelin did it, you know, but something about that one just irks the crap out of me. And I think maybe it's because with all the stuff that was coming against Chuck Berry at that time, you know, just to see one more thing like that happen that someone capitalized on so big in such a public way, it rubs me wrong every time I think about it. So yeah, Beach Boys are there for me.
All right. I get that. So this is the one I was talking about when I said there was a band. Sometimes the timing matters. My dad was a huge Beach Boys fan, and even though my dad turned me on to a lot of great stuff, you know, I wouldn't be listening to, you know, Muddy Waters and John Lee Hooker and Cream and, you know, Grateful Dead and Hendrix and just on and on and on if it wasn't for him. And he saw a lot of these bands back in the day. And but Beach Boys was one where I was like, yeah, every time you hear it, it's like surf music and stuff. And I'm like, man, well, come on, dude. I get it's fine, but it's like, there's nothing for me here. It's like, that's old generation stuff, And so I didn't, it took me forever. And then suddenly about 10 years ago, I'm like, I can't say I don't like Pet Sounds if I don't listen to it. You know what I mean? Like, and my dad would always say, you should put on Pet Sounds. You should put on Pet Sounds. I'll get to it. Finally, I went ahead and played it. And it's one of those things where it's perfect timing. Whatever it was, it spoke to me. Every lyric, I got it. I was like, oh my God, this is a masterpiece. Like, I just love that album so much. After you tried listening to it, I put it on in the car the other day and listened to it. And it's like, it's another one. It's like Zappa. It's like, I get it. And I do think that the Beach Boys are going to get harder and harder to listen to over time, as opposed to, like, say, the Beatles. I don't think the progression of music has gone, that thread that is the Beach Boys has kind of been left behind. I feel like the Beatles still kind of resonates as we, as music develops and stuff, although that's going away too. But yeah, I see why it's hard. But for me, the way in was Pet Sounds. It was a perfect timing. I fell in love, and it was just locked in at that moment. I think similar to how I wish that would happen to me with Dylan, or I wish that would happen to me with other groups. It just happened for me. I was just fortunate. Anyway, so yeah, that's how I feel about it. But I knew when you said I'm going to listen to it, I was like, no, because I already knew what was going to happen. I already knew it's just going to reinforce that he doesn't like it,
Yeah, that's how it. But again, like we keep saying, I believe, just like you were saying, it's all about a timing thing. So there's going to be another point in time in the future where I'm going to say, let me go back and sit back down and listen to Pet Sounds again, because like maybe something has happened in my life, or I'm in a different headspace where it's going to ring different. And I mean, I can go through and name a number of artists where I can say there's a definite time where I said, I hate this artist that I'm totally in love with today. Like, I can name 5 of them just like that. So yeah, I'll keep the Beach Boys to still be open. I'll still keep it open.
Yeah. Sorry if you guys, I don't know how the dog comes through when she's barking. Sorry about that, guys. One point I wanted to make, actually, which is, oh man, my mind went blank because I'm sorry my dog's barking. So, all right, I'll refresh my brain and get back to the point I was going to make because I forgot. Okay. Let me go through these comments. Okay, we talked about that. Groove Seeker, Beach Boys, a snooze fest. Swifty, Beach Boys, thumbs up, but it's barely. Okay.
There you go.
There's still hope for you, Swifty. Michael. Okay, so far, Mike, I don't know if I want to read this one because Michael and I have been in like lockstep here. I like some Beach Boys tunes. Don't hate, but overrated. This is tough, though. Everybody gave a thumbs up. Okay. The thumbs up is still there. Beach Boys didn't even play on Pet Sounds, says Groove Seeker. Well, I mean, yeah, it's true. It's a lot of session artists. It's mostly Brian Wilson, but all the vocals were Beach Boys. In fact, no one but Brian even wanted to make the album. They were like, come on, man, this is not our thing. Why are we doing this? But he got his way and the album came out, and it's, some people love it. Some people hate it. Saltzine, get behind the wheel of a 60s Chevy and turn up some Beach Boys. Yes, my friend. Absolutely. Yeah, that's the thing too, is with some of this stuff. It's like a movie or a book where it's like sometimes you got to put yourself in the headspace, and you just nailed it, Saltzine. It's like sometimes you just gotta, if you were literally to go rent yourself a 57 Chevy, put the top down, go drive on the beach, you'd want to hear some Beach Boys, and it would be the perfect thing, dude. You'd be like, it would just add to the experience. Yeah, and stuff. And so sometimes, it is about getting into your fantasy mind a little bit, suspending reality or whatever you want to say, and going there. And then it's like, okay, this is cool. What's up, Carlos? Thanks for being here. All right. Next on the list. So sorry. Oh, come here, baby. Come here. Come here. She thinks her mom's home. I don't think she is, but someone probably just pulled up. Okay. Next up on the list is Elton John. So Elton John, you get it or you don't get Elton John? We'll do a 1, 2, 3, thumbs up, thumbs down. 1, 2, 3. All right. I'm going 1 thumbs up. Not a strong, but I get it. I get it. Yeah. Give us, why do you get Elton John?
Well, maybe I should kind of say maybe a thumb and a half up, because I mean it's a strong thumbs up for me. I mean, number one, just a great, fantastic songwriter. Another guy that has shifted well between different decades and different time periods in music. Like, going from his 70s stuff and then going in this 80s stuff, and then, even going further into all of your soundtrack, Lion King stuff and things of that nature. I felt like he took what he did and flowed very well through the changing times of the decades. Matter of fact, as popular as his early stuff is, actually Elton John's 80s stuff is my golden time,
And TV, yeah, and all that.
Yeah, exactly. Everything from, like I'm Still Standing to sad songs and all that stuff that just became so, radio friendly and blah, blah, blah. It's like, that was great music. So I'll kind of leave it there. But I just think I think he's fantastic. I think he's just very musical, with someone playing a piano, which automatically in rock and roll is not the easiest thing to do, and so I think when you have guys like Billy Joel and Elton that actually are very successful with taking a piano through rock music, typically just kind of their composing and creativity and the stuff they bring to the table is usually not just overly simple. Like, there's something very musical about it, and Elton definitely holds up that piece, and the character that he created, and just everything that goes around it. Like you can make like one of those yellow smiley faces and put a big weird pair of glasses on it, and you kind of know, oh, that must be a Elton John smiley face, because those glasses are Elton John. That's it's just the whole character piece too. Just a legendary musician, man, that did it for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, the only reason I didn't go with 2 thumbs up, and it's funny you mentioned Billy Joel, because I should have put him on the list, but he's not on the list. But here's the way I differentiate it. Billy Joel, I want in my collection. Elton John, I don't need in my collection. The first time I ever heard Billy Joel was back in the late 70s on a record that was had the Star Wars theme song on it, because I had the double Star Wars, the full soundtrack. I had the movie on vinyl, which I still have in the collection and stuff. And I had this other thing that was kind of weird. It was Star Wars with other stuff on it. And one of the tunes that was on it was Elton John's Rocket Man. Mm-hmm. And so from a very young age, it was funny because like I have this vivid memory of my uncle coming over the house, and I had my little turntable in my bedroom and stuff. And I'm like 5, I'm not kidding, 5 or 6 years old, because my parents were divorced when I was 6. I was probably 6. It's like 1978 or something like that, 79. And he comes in the room, and I'm listening to it, and I'm about to skip Rocket Man and just literally go to the next song. And he's like, whoa, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Listen to Rocket Man. And so he like made me like, no, let's hear this. And I was like, okay, this is cool. Because I don't know, whatever. I wanted to hear Star Wars. I wanted to hear all that stuff. So anyway, I get it. Elton John's awesome. Like you said, you nailed it. Very first sentence. Fantastic songwriter. Great voice. Elton John when you hear it, and all of that stuff is there. So I don't have a bad thing to say about it. Look, he's not someone that I keep in the collection, but he's someone that I will go to his music on the playlist and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely mess with Elton.
And just to put it out there, my favorite song by Elton John is Sacrifice.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that one by title.
Yeah, and that's why I want to put it out there, because I feel like it's one that doesn't get a lot of hurrah, whatever, with him. But again, knowing his body of work, that song is Elton right where I want him to be. I mean, it's perfect. So,
awesome. Just want to throw that out there. I'll have to hear that. Michael Elliott, Little Deuce Coupe. Okay. Of course, still on the Beach Boys. Elton John, thumbs down for Swiftie. Okay.
Ouch.
Elton John, My Son, I Love It, says Carlos. Doctor says, Elton John, yes, a bit of a dive, but man, he and Bernie wrote some great tunes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Michael Elliott, Elton John, easily one of the greatest in history of music, all caps. One of the greatest, a million thumbs up, incredible. Michael, they hit on something for Michael. I love it.
Yeah.
Carlos, Taupin, how you pronounce that? John is like Lennon and McCartney. I recognize the name, but I've never heard anybody say it, so I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Music in the House. What's up, Music in the House? Elton is absolutely prolific. Few can match that longevity, and it's cool to see he promotes newer acts.
Yeah.
That scene in Almost Famous when they sing Tiny Dancer on the bus. It gets me every time. That's cool. That's cool. And then Carlos, my favorite tune of Elton John is Song for Guy.
Yeah, it's not only he continues that long, but I mean, you're talking about like hit songs throughout all these decades.
Yeah.
Like people know these songs. It's not just some random 10 albums he put out in the latter part of his career that no one heard about. You know, just great stuff.
Almost a path like, I mean, people are going to think this is weird, but almost a path kind of like, why am I spacing out on his name? From Genesis. From Genesis, drummer Phil Collins. Yeah, in the sense that also did like soundtracks for films and kind of similar career path, longevity, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Different, but kind of similar in that way. And then last, before we move on, Carlos, my favorite. I already said that one. Sorry. So Song of Guy. Everyone check out Song for Guy. I'm not familiar with that one by title, but sometimes I don't know the title and then I hear it and I'm like, oh yeah, I know that song.
Yeah.
Okay, next up. I might have to start cooking here because we've been in like an hour and we got a lot to go still.
We're getting too much feedback. Let's speed it up a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, Neil Young. Neil Young is next on the list. So do you get it or you don't get it? 1, 2, 3. Yes. 2 big thumbs up. I should do 2 thumbs up too. Neil Young's fantastic. Neil Young, of course, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, of course, Buffalo Springfield. I'm a big Buffalo Springfield fan specifically in terms of like that's where I get my Neil Young oftentimes, and just great stuff. I get it and love his stuff. You know, great songwriter, great lyricist. Is great with the whole Crosby, Stills, Nash crew and stuff. So I totally get it. Love Neil Young.
Yeah, I mean, Neil Young is, again, one of the greatest songwriters of all time and another guy that's just been doing hit after hit after hit, going all the way back to Buffalo Springfield and virtually still putting out stuff now. It's just totally insane. But he's one of those few guys that you can say, give me just a straight up hard-hitting rock album. Here's Rockin' in the Free World. Like, give me one of the most amazing ballads that you, like acoustic ballad things that you can do. You know, here's Hey, Hey, My. Give me a country album. Here's Comes a Time. And every one of them is just fantastic. I mean, just his ability to jump across genres is absolutely mind-blowing. And there's just so, I won't ramble. So let's leave it at that. Just
yeah.
And another one of those artists like Dylan, where it's easy to understand when someone says, I hate his voice, easy to understand why you hate his voice. You love it or you don't, but it's easy to understand why you would say, whoa.
Yep. Swiftie, Neil Young, 3 thumbs up. So yes, absolutely. All right. Keep putting your votes in the chat. I will keep reading them, but we're going to maybe pick up the pace just slightly. All right. Next on the list is Nirvana. Nirvana. Do you love it? Do you get it? Do you don't get it? 1, 2, 3. Wah, wah, wah. All right. Why do you sort of get Nirvana?
Yeah, it's a very low get. If you go back to when grunge hit, I mean, Nirvana they were it. And I mean, I was on Smell Like Teen Spirit and Nevermind and all that, just like everybody else. it hasn't gone well over time. I don't look at the music and think like it sucks now or anything, but I have zero desire to go back in most cases and listen to Nirvana. It's just kind of like it's been ingrained, it's there. It's a hard listen to go back and listen to again. But what it was when it came out, when it was fresh, what it represented, what it did, I mean, yeah, it's the ultimate thumbs up. I just don't want to really listen to it that much anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, kind of similar to what you said about Beach Boys in terms of like co-opting certain parts of their music catalog. I feel the same way about Nirvana. I think I was a huge fan of the Pixies. And when I heard, and obviously there's no bones, he doesn't, he doesn't mince any words about the fact that I think he even said like, I wanted to be the Pixies kind of a thing. But I was very turned off by, swiping 80s by Killing Joke. I am a huge Killing Joke fan to this day. And so it's a lot of beef I have with Nirvana, I think. It's another one that I feel similarly to like Oasis. Like the thing, except I don't dislike Nirvana as much as Oasis. But there's just similarities in like, to me, attitude and things like this. It's like, I get it, man, and stuff. And I know people that, the thing is I get that there's a lot of authenticity there. I know it's more than just what's on the surface. But I don't know, man. Overall, I just don't mess with it. And having said that, there are certain Nirvana songs that I think are extremely good. And I think it's songs that don't feel as derivative. I think it's stuff that's not as like the hits, some of the deeper cuts that I think are really good. But I just have a hard time listening because it's one of those where I hear it and I can't get it out of my head that it's like Nirvana. Yeah. And so it's just hard for me. So that's my feeling on it. Look, it's so adjacent to where like, if my personal experience had been a little bit different, I'd probably be a huge Nirvana fan. But because of my associations with other things, I don't mess with it. So that's my feeling about it. Swifty Nirvana, thumbs down. Don't like grunge in general. Well, by the way, if you grew up in the 80s, you might have a lot of reason to not like grunge because whether you like metal, whether you like new wave or any of that stuff, man, it's like they went off a cliff when grunge came, right? And everything was like, oh, music is changed now. Sorry, we don't have time for this other stuff. And so anyway.
Yeah.
Although I have grown to like grunge over the years.
I was just say really quick, that's one of the places where I definitely give Nirvana one of the biggest thumbs up is because there's very few times in the world of music where you see like music put on the brakes and just make a total right-hand turn. Like you might have seen it when the Beatles came on the scene, maybe when Hendrix came on the scene, but for most of us that grew up in the 80s, we didn't really see that until Nirvana and NWA came on the scene. And it was like a moment in time where the brakes were slammed on and we're like, all music is about to make a complete and total right-hand turn. So I think the fact we got to experience that is kind of special because I think most won't in their lifetime.
Right. I've warmed up to other bands like Pearl Jam, and a lot of that stuff at the time I didn't mess with because again, it was I already felt like an old man. I was literally like the 90s should have been my decade. That was when I was in my 20s, you know what I mean? But it was like I listened to the 80s and loved the 80s so much that it was like by the time I got into my 20s, I was like, what happened? And then I came around later, but I was very disgruntled 80s listener when that 90s stuff hit. But then, now it's like I go back and I recognize the greatness. So yeah, except for Nirvana, but like a lot of that other stuff I can listen to. I don't want to skip anyone. I do and sometimes don't get him, but the guy truly is a powerful artist. One of the best songwriters ever. I got to give him his props. I think we're talking about Neil Young on that one. Michael says no Vana. Carlos, I only know Neil Young because Pearl Jam did a tribute with him. Okay, interesting that then we went on. I had to add Nirvana, not Pearl Jam. Everybody loves Pearl Jam, let's be honest. Best thing to come out of Nirvana is Dave Grohl. Hey, now you're talking. That came from Sam Squatch. It's funny. I had this argument with Jose of Service Noise fame about Foo Fighters versus Nirvana, and it's always he's on the Nirvana side, I'm on the Foo Fighters side, and so that's kind of one of those things where like pick a side. Are you team Foo Fighters or are you team Nirvana? And I am definitely team Foo Fighters.
Song for song, I'd rather go back and listen to Foo Fighters more. But the only thing that sucks about Foo Fighters is that it took Dave Grohl from behind the kit. I love him as a drummer. Oh my gosh.
Well, on those at least the first album, maybe first two, he plays all the instruments anyway. But yeah, no, I get it. I think probably on the later stuff, he started to give up on the
such a great emotional drummer. It's just
Kurt Cobain. Yeah, absolutely. Kurt Cobain was kind of a loser to me. That's how I've always felt. You know, it's one of those where I've had to go back and watch the interviews and stuff. And I'm on the fence about Kurt. I'll be honest. Yeah, I don't want to go on forever, honestly, because I'm thumbs down on Nirvana. So why go on about it? Music in the House. I like Nirvana. I agree with Brandon. It's of a time. Don't mind hearing them, but like every band, I'm not a big fan of. Maybe I will tomorrow. Now Weird Al Smells Like Nirvana. No, I'm mumbling. Yes, Weird Al, baby. Great point, says Swifty to Mr. Hall of Fame. And then Scrumpy to top it out, we got Pink Floyd Are So Dull, Plotting, and Too Serious. I've tried, but no. Pink Floyd not making the list, but we might need to do a part 2.
Clearly.
Okay, next up, Elvis Presley, the king, Elvis. Thumbs up or thumbs down? 1, 2, 3. Yes. Oh, wait, what? What's this?
I know. I'm going to go here. I'll explain it, but yeah.
Okay. For the record, I'm 2 thumbs up. So, okay, you're going to have to explain yourself on this one.
Quick and simple. Never liked Elvis. Didn't care about him. Never had an Elvis record. And about 4 years ago, we went down to Memphis. And I just decided, hey, we're here. Let's go over to, whatchamacallit? What's the?
Graceland.
Graceland, yeah. And came out. And like the experience thing you talked about. Yeah. And when I left Graceland, between what I experienced there and hearing the song Suspicious Mind, I could not get Elvis off my brain. And I just became an instant fan after 40 plus whatever years. It was freaking weird. It was so weird. So that's what I was saying. I hated him for 40 years.
Folks. It can happen.
Became a huge fan. I mean, it was so weird. But yeah, so thumbs up.
Elvis, like a lot of these bands, it's how did you come to it? And it can come late, it can come early. I was a kid singing Hound Dog in the bathtub, convinced I sounded exactly like Elvis when I was singing it, man, at the top of my lungs. Always liked that kind of music, you know, and his stuff, you know, rockabilly. And to me, that was kind of, you know, I didn't hear a lot of the other stuff. You'd hear the big stuff, you know, and I'd hear Elvis and stuff. And then I always liked his first couple albums more. When he started to do the crooning and that kind of stuff, I didn't feel, I don't want to hear like, I don't know, some of that other stuff they did is slower and stuff. It's painful for me to kind of listen to, but the rockin' stuff, I love the rockin' Elvis. You know, he's in a whole bunch of movies, which they dragged him out of, you know, the studio and said, hey man, now it's time to be on camera, which I, as far as I know about him, he didn't really want to do all those movies. Right. And of course I don't remember his manager's name, but it's notoriously known how this guy controlled Elvis's career and stuff. And it's messed up because I think it could have even been maybe better in a lot of ways. But, you know, look, there were people that the films appealed to, you know. I can sort of go back and watch those now with a different eye and appreciate them, as long as you don't think like Elvis is probably hating, you know, this, but maybe not. I can't watch old Elvis on stage. You know, it's hard to watch. It's sad. When you know Elvis's whole story, everything I've heard about Elvis has just made me love him more, because there's some great documentaries out there that talk about just how kind he was and a difference that he was making. for racial equity and a bunch of stuff, that he really sort of was, a self-aware, conscious person that would fight for goodness. I felt like, and I don't know anyone that ever said he dissed him, and stuff. So yeah, it was, you can say, well, the guy's a womanizer, or the guy was a druggie, or the guy was just that, look, if you dig deep into Michael Jackson, you think, he gets asked, they asked Michael Jackson, are you a virgin? I think Oprah asked him when he was like in his 30s, like, come on, man, MJ was no virgin, dude. So it's like, look, that's given. If you're a rock and roll star, look, you might as well just erase that part of it. In terms of the drugs, man, I think just a terrible side effect of the lifestyle. And, there's a lot of people that died early in rock that did drugs that I think it's really sad that, in order to maintain a schedule or a physical, aspect of their life or whatever, it's like they have to turn to something and it just kills them. And I think that's what happened to Elvis. I love Elvis. 2 thumbs up. I already went too long. Let's see what other people think about Elvis. Suspicious Minds is the one I just saw. I can do without that. But let me see. We got Michael Jason. I once found myself sitting across the bar from Jazz Coleman of Killing Joke on a weekday afternoon in a downtown Detroit bar. Did you guys have words, Michael? That's awesome, dude. That is awesome. Dr. Johnny Fever, Suspicious Minds, one of the greatest songs ever. Oh, snap, Doctor. I'm sorry. I know it's another one where it's not that I don't recognize its greatness, but that's not my Elvis. If let me just put it that way. I want Elvis rocking out with the leather and the dope suits and all that, man, looking spry.
Yeah. That's definitely my favorite. My favorite Elvis Presley song is Suspicious Minds.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not here to hate. Let's see. Not an Elvis fan, but I love Pocket Full of Rainbows, though, says Lavelle. Carlos, Always on My Mind is a great song and a great cover done by the Pet Shop Boy. Yeah,
fantastic.
Go back in our video history. You'll find one where Mr. Hall of Fame talks all about it. Michael, Elvis Smelvis, not a fan, but a few good tunes. Swifty, Elvis, much respect, but I'll pass. I can't give the king a thumbs down, though. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for showing respect.
That's how you approach it.
Music in the House. I like early Elvis a lot. Yeah, I think we fall in similar camps, but dang, when he brought in the strings, I fell asleep, but that was the late 60s and 70s. I think if Elvis if he could have managed his own career, had someone else manage his career, he wouldn't have done all the movies. He wouldn't have done all the Vegas. He wouldn't have done all that other stuff. I think he would have rocked his way into the 60s. There, you might have a whole different, we might have a whole different memory of him. Swifty, I like the 70s judo Elvis personally. Yeah, supposedly Elvis could take you down. And then last by Scrumpy, Neil Young's acoustic stuff is great, but his electric playing sounds kind of rough, says Naso. He's kind of on the fence with Neil. Okay, next on the list. And I think this guy's clearly someone that has had a little bit of, he's a little polarizing in terms of whether you mess with him or not. So do you get it or don't you get it on Sir Eric Clapton? I shouldn't say sir because I don't know, sir is actual thing. Maybe he's not a sir. I don't even know if he's been knighted, but it wouldn't surprise me if he was. Eric Clapton, thumbs up or thumbs down? 1, 2, 3. All right, there it is. We got 1 thumb. We got 2 thumbs. I guess since you started on Elvis, I'll start on Clapton. Clapton's someone that I love him in Cream. I love him in other stuff that he's done, which I can't remember right now.
Eric and the Doghouse.
Steve Winwood, the early. What is the name of that band? They did 1 record, guys. Somebody will know it. Love it.
Wait, am I getting confused? I'm mixing up Traffic and Blind Faith.
Oh, Blind Faith. Yeah, Blind Faith. It's Blind Faith. Blind Faith and Cream are 2. I love that, man. So good. Wasn't a huge fan of Clapton, the dude by himself. I could never really get into and the whole Clapton is God thing. I didn't get it. What are you talking about? Clapton is God. Yeah, he's great in these other bands and stuff, but the exception of a few things here and there, I was kind of on, I'll just appreciate the Cream Clapton and the Blind Faith Clapton and stuff. until I saw him live. And it's hard to express if you haven't seen it, but maybe other people have had similar experiences with other bands. When I got to be in the room, when I got to breathe the air, and Clapton went off, and it was during the Pilgrim tour, which I honestly, I loved that album. And so that kind of got me back into like Clapton. There was a moment, and this is the way I describe it. The place was packed and Clapton went into a solo and was shredding harder than anyone I've ever seen live. And literally, it was as if we were all levitating off our seats, man. It was like a spiritual moment. It was like we're all like anybody that wasn't sure about Clapton was like having a spiritual moment. It was so incredible. And the sound was great. Whatever you want to say, he was God in that moment to all of us. And then he finishes the solo off, and that last note is hanging in the air, and you're just like, what did I just hear? He turns around to the band and just shrugs as if to say, like, what else can I do? I mean, if that doesn't get him, it's like, bro, you did it all. You did it all. I'll never forget that moment. It's a very memorable concert moment for me. 2 thumbs up for Clapton. Again, for all the reasons I just stated. So what about you, dude? You got a thumbs up for Clapton?
Yeah, definitely a thumbs up. I'll keep it short too. Like number 1, Pilgrim is probably my favorite Clapton album. You don't hear that a lot, but I'll put that out there. Yeah, I mean, all the stuff about Cream, don't need to talk about that. Fantastic, great rock and stuff. Blind Faith, great stuff as well. The Clapton solo stuff like Pilgrim or Unplugged, which of course, I mean, just again, all fantastic.
Yeah.
The only type of Clapton that I don't really get into is when he starts trying to do the blues stuff. That stuff just doesn't really resonate with me as much, but everything else, I mean, it's just like, yeah, that's the amazing Derek and the Dominoes. That's just the amazing Clapton. And even stuff like Layla, I think is probably from the start to very end, probably my favorite Clapton song, just because of all the places that song goes to, especially into the whole, piano solo piece at the end, which does not match with the song, but somehow matches perfectly with the song. And it's just, yeah, Clapton's fantastic. I mean, just he's a legend that he is for a reason. I don't want the blues stuff. That blues stuff that he does.
Yeah, and he's a good one too, because there are people that think he's overrated and stuff. So let's get to the comment, because we might have a few. Fine Young Cannibals did Suspicious Minds better, says Michael Elliott. I don't remember that.
I don't know about that.
Okay, I'd have to hear that one. I don't know if I'm familiar with it.
It's a good 80s cover. I mean, it's a great cover, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Elvis killed that. But yeah, great track for sure.
Lavelle with Blind Faith. Yep, we finally got it. Thanks. Swifty was waiting for this. Love Cream, but the rest of his career, thumbs down. Cocaine, a song they should play on loop to torture prisoners at Guantanamo. Oh man, Swifty, come on.
There you go.
Michael, Eric Clapton before he went solo was fantastic. Alone, he's a bit of a snore. Saltzine, Eric Clapner. I like Eric Clapner. Who's Eric Clapner? Don't know that one. The doctor says Clapton music, hell yes. His politics, a big no. Cream, Derek and Dominoes, Blind Faith, John Mayall, and the Blues Breakers, yes. But then now we're getting into the blues stuff you were talking about.
Yeah.
So Much Goodness. Saw him on the 24 night shows at Royal Albert Hall. Yes, he's one. He's still living. I don't know if he's still performing, but man, and I don't know if he's still going to be as great. I saw him dang near, it was 25 years ago or something. So I don't know if he's still up to the.
Yeah, no, I mean, it wasn't 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, that Chance actually had an extra ticket and took me to see Clapton with him. So that was just 2 or 3 years ago, something like that.
Okay. And he was fire.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he got up on stage and killed it.
Okay, well, there you go. Go check him out while you can, guys. And I do think, like, if you are someone, again, I was in that camp. If you do mess with his early stuff, but you're kind of like, nah, and he comes to your town, go see him. I just think you're going to have a whole different appreciation. Pilgrim Rock, says Doctor. Yes, that's
Great
you're
album.
speaking our language. Both Mr. Hall of Fame and I agree on that.
Great album.
Tales of Ulysses is one of the best songs ever. Yes, going back to some awesome Cream. Those records are so good. What? No Rush fans? Oh yeah, dude. Of course, I love Rush. Why don't I know that? I love Rush, but I will say I'm not a deep Rush guy. But I have the albums. I love to listen. I just don't know. I'm not into the autobiography or the biography of Rush and stuff like that. I'm not that familiar. Dwight, we could have put Rush on here too. Dwight Yoakam's version of Suspicious Minds is awesome, says Melinda Murphy. Okay. I'm not familiar with that one, man. There's so many. Thanks for being here, Melinda. I haven't heard that one. Suspicious Minds. Okay. From Dwight Yoakam. Check it out. You bring more of the Western between the two of us. You've kind of got more of the country, I don't know, taste more than I do. So maybe that would be more your speed. Lavelle says clapped and thumbs up. All right. Moving on. Okay, here's another one for you guys. Another one. Do you mess with this or not? I get it or I don't get it. Allman Brothers. Thumbs up or thumbs down? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay. Let me go first quickly, just because I don't have a lot to say about it. This is mostly non-familiarity. I like what I've heard. The reason I'm thumbs down, and part of this, as we said at the opening, is these bands are revered by people, the ones we're mentioning here. And this is one where I just don't get why they're revered. I like their stuff. I think it's fine. It's, I can listen to it and everything, but I don't quite get why it's as massive as it is. And that's my only reason for going thumbs down. So what about you? We got thumbs up.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like what I like. Obviously, like with most bands. I mean, Midnight Rider is probably one of my favorite kind of Southern rock. It's definitely one of my top 5 favorite kind of Southern rock type of songs of all time, and just love that entire album. But yeah, I mean, there's also kind of a piece to the Allman Brothers where I also don't get it too. But I think overall, I would say I get it. But then like Live at the Fillmore, like greatest live album, one of the greatest live albums of all time, and I cannot understand why people pay any money for that album. I've listened to it so many times trying to get what is so fantastic about this. We actually have a MoFi copy at the shop right now sitting on the shelf. And I literally think to myself, it's a MoFi copy of that. I wish I liked it because I was so want to get it. Just looking at the cover, it's so freaking beautiful. But it's like, I've spun that album so many times. I have the CD where I go back to it all the time. I don't understand what's so freaking fantastic about it. But overall, I mean, the Allman Brothers, yeah, when I like their stuff, I really like it. So I definitely give them a thumbs up.
Yeah, the album you just mentioned is essential according to a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
And so it's one where I picked it up also and just was kind of like, for me, I had the feeling, and sometimes I get this, where I feel like I've already heard this better somewhere else, and it makes it hard because I feel like I'm almost, I don't know, whether this is rational or not, it's just kind of where my head went. And I was kind of like, am I really going to go backwards? Like, I feel like sometimes you need to hit things in a certain sweet sequence. And when you hear something that already feels like, from whatever, maybe it came before or after, and it sort of overtakes something when you hear it later, it's like, if I'd heard this sooner, maybe I would have messed with it more. But
yeah.
Let's see. Gonna go neutral on Allman Brothers, says Swifty, and Lavelle says, in memory of Elizabeth Reed, still my jam, says Lavelle. Yeah. All right. Keep the comments coming. We're gonna keep going though. All right, so let's go. Okay, here's one. How about Queen? Queen. Do you mess with Queen? Let's see. You get it or you don't get it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm in here. I'm in this range. I'm in this range. Yeah. I think I went first last time.
I mean, Queen has a little something for everyone. I mean, there's no box that you could put them in, and they took advantage of that. And I mean, you also had what I consider to be the epitome of the greatest rock and roll star of all time, which was Freddie. I mean, just between vocally what he could do, his, his mannerisms inside of like the feminine side that he would allow to come out, that projected this power, that just all of that stuff. Like, I feel like that all came together between his performance and the music. Like we were saying before about how you experience it makes a big difference. And when someone like him is performing and allowing you to experience that music while watching him doing his thing, it adds something else to it. And just the fact that they can go from just, stuff like I Want to Be Free to One Vision, and just, Another One Bites the Dust. Like, they had no rules. And so you have to give them a thumbs up just because they had something for everybody. And they had something that everyone hated too. It's like, you were going to love something by them and you're going to hate something by them. It's a guarantee.
Well, I love that you said I Want to Be Free. That's an amazing tune. A lot of great stuff. They are a powerhouse, man. Freddie is a dang powerhouse, right? Mm-hmm. Pressure with David Bowie is one of my all-time favorite tear-jerking. It's so great. I'm a big Bowie fan. To me, I kind of lean into the Bowie aspect of it. Yeah. But there's something about the sort of, and I'm not going to get this right, what you want to call it, but there's this glam factor, or kind of this almost like show tuney, Broadway kind. I don't know what you call it, but it turns me off a little.
You call it that right there.
So it's like, and it always has growing up when I'd hear it, and it was just a radio band to me. Like, we never had the records in the house or anything like that. I appreciate it. I respect it. There's a lot of great stuff there. The only reason I don't do, my thumb is down here instead of up here, is just because it's not my bag in terms of the way I'm trying to describe it. Maybe someone has a better word for it. There's this glamorous, show tunesy kind of, I don't know what you call that. I know it has a word, but
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. And I'm just, that's the part that kind of turns me off a little, but hey, I respect it. I love it. If I had the chance to see him back in the day, I would have definitely done it.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's kind of where I fall with it. Okay. Swifty Queen, 3 thumbs up, but I can't see some people being out on the opera. Yeah, is kind of the way to say it, right? But they were almost metal at times. Freddie, greatest frontman ever, in my opinion. Dr. Johnny, Queen's Don't Stop Me Now has to be the most feel-good rock song ever. Mm-hmm. Yep. Scrumpy, Brian may get a thumbs up for that guitar tone. Yes. Music in the house. Queen, come on. The amazing Freddie, the crazy guitar, the freaking PhD, and Brian. Dang, all the thumbs up. I'm borrowing thumbs. Ron says, hey, Brandon, good to see you, my friend. What do you think about Queen, Ron? You get it or you don't get it? Salt Zine, don't mess with Queen. The Queen will mess you up. Wait, the Queen is dead, right? Yes. Okay. Little Sex Pistols, maybe channeling there. Or is that Queen? No. I'm sorry. We talked about him earlier, the Smiths. Yeah. Michael Elliott, Queen. Hell yes, especially their earliest work. Queen 2 is one of the greatest prog rock. Prog rock 2 is another good way to describe albums ever. Own almost every album. Gods. Yeah. It's hard to argue with that, right? I mean, Lavelle, Queen gets my respect, thumbs up. Okay, moving along. Next band. I'm sorry if we're kind of going. I feel like we're still not going too swiftly, but we were going a lot slower before. So trying to pick it up a little bit.
Commit 20 second feedback. Let's commit to it. 20-second feedback.
Got it. Here we go. Get it or don't get it. The Eagles. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Oh, we're right in lockstep there.
Yeah.
I love the Eagles. I always get a little sad in my heart when people talk about they hate the Eagles, and they are one of those bands that people love to hate. They're almost a meme sometimes, especially in this community, I feel like. And it hurts me because I think they're great. I'm going to blank out on the guy that came out of the Eagles that went solo in the 80s.
Don Henley.
Don Henley. Love Don Henley. He did some amazing stuff during the 80s. I don't hate on the Eagles, man. I think they're great. I'm going to go quickly here, but I'm not one of these haters. And again, I get a little sad when people hate on them. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, the exact same thing. I think the songwriting was absolutely fantastic. And I love the fact that they were smart enough to take advantage of the talent that they had in the band. You didn't have just one lead singer trying to control every single song. You know, it's like, excuse me. Yeah, 1 minute, like, you know, you're in Hotel California. The next minute you're in Life in the Fast Lane. And then, you know, Take It Easy. Like, you know, In the City. Different lead singers every time, but it's like the person who needed to serve the song was the person that delivered it, which is it was just great. And they would do that. We'll throw these amazing, beautiful harmonies on top of it, and here's another hit. So love the Eagles.
Sorry, I'm trying to mute the dog. Someone must have. We might have got a delivery or something. And I apologize to everyone. She's losing her mind right now. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. Let's see what they say in chat. We got Eagles are neutral, says Swifty. Michael says yes. Saltzine says Walsh, thumbs up.
Yeah.
And Dr. Johnny says Eagles, another hugely successful crossover band, and they got Joe Walsh to join. Come on, hell yes.
Yeah. Fantastic band.
Boot Trader in the house. What's up, Boot Trader?
Sorry, guys.
My mom, who didn't even listen to rock and roll, fell in love with Queen back in 1991 when she heard them after Freddie Mercury died on her birthday. Queen definitely rocked. Lavelle, I caught the Eagles on History of the Eagles tour when Glenn Frey was alive. Very nice. That's awesome. And the music in the house. I dig the Eagles. Mad respect for Linda Ronstadt putting them together.
Yep.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, wasn't it Henley and Glenn that came from that was with her? I know Don Henley is. I'm getting confused on who the second person was. I think it was. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Okay. Next up, a little band called Lynyrd Skynyrd. Lynyrd Skynyrd. Do you get it or you don't get it? 1, 2, 3. Oh,
really?
We really got some controversy in the BC right now.
Just when you think you know a buddy, holy cow!
Well, I'm just gonna tell you straight up. Like I never heard anything I liked, and I just never gave it a lot of effort. That's all I can really say. And I don't go deep. You know, I've heard the stuff that gets played, and I'm like, you know, whatever. And so it's just not anything that drew me in. So it's just another one of those deals, man. Maybe fate will hit me one day in the face and I'll be into Lynyrd Skynyrd. But as of now, I don't get it.
Man, I mean, just kind of like the absolute blueprint of Southern rock, man. I mean, great storytelling, great emotions in the delivery. I mean, just skilled musicians. I mean, I just freaking love everything about it. So yeah, I've always loved Lynyrd Skynyrd. I don't know what else to add.
I'm also thumb down on CCR. So, you know, I don't know. There's something about that. I never got it.
Yeah. You know, and one thing I'll say that definitely kind of connects with me on is like, if you listen to the song, All I Can Do Is Write About It is the song that they have. And it's just kind of them talking about, you know, going back home and missing. And like in that song, there's like a line when he says, have you ever seen a she-gator protect her youngins or fish in the river swimming free? Have you ever seen the beauty of the hills of Carolina or the sweetness of the grass in Tennessee? And it's like just that right there to me kind of sums up just this connection back to not Hollywood fame, not the limousines, not the big lights and all of that. Like I said, you're talking about just like how beautiful the hills of of the Carolinas role, or just just being in Tennessee, just out in the country, and just how sweet the smell of that is. I feel like they were representing that part of rock and roll that came from there. Not that came from New York City, not that came from CBGB's, not that came from, wherever places in LA, but down home Southern good old boy rock and roll. And I think they capture that so well. I'll stop rambling, but yeah, that's what's magical about them to me.
Yeah. Yeah. It could be just a fact that, I was born and raised on the West Coast, and just, my stuff is going to tend to slant, the Fillmore and and the Warfield and all the, Bay Area groups that came out, and, California groups, and all stuff. So yeah. I'll chalk it up to that, I think. But
there's probably
it's not like
that too. That's actually a good point.
It could be something to that, not to say I don't have anything against it. It's just, I don't think I really heard enough of it when I was growing up. And I am someone that likes Western music. Like, it's not like I don't like that sort of country Southern deal in certain permutations. It's just that I never got it in some of the music. Glenn Fry, people are saying, is that the other guy, the other Eagles we're talking about? Yeah. Okay. Says music in the house and Boot Trader. Dr. Johnny says Jackson Brown was also hugely important in Eagles formation. Boot Trader says it definitely get Leonard Skinner and the Eagles. Michael says, love the song New Kid in Town.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Jason can't smell the smell, says Ron.
Smell.
It's true. Swifty, Leonard Skinner, hell yeah. And I am not even a Southern rock fan. Sucker for dual guitar. Okay. Boot Trader, I think they started off great and ended great. It was a sad it was a sad ending.
Yeah.
Michael, no Skinner zone. Yep.
Ooh.
Again, we're back. We're back, Michael. We're back in lockstep. Salzine, Hoff is a rambling man. Is that you? Is that Hall of Fame? Yeah. Okay. Yes, you are a rambling man. And then Lavelle says, Leonard Skinner, thumbs up. Great group. Very sad story. Yeah, I don't know the story, actually. So again, this could be one of those things where, like, if I went south and hung out there for a weekend, learned the story, kind of smelled the smell, as we say, who knows? I might come out as a fan. So, but as of now, not so much. Okay. Sorry, that is the dog barking. I know sometimes it comes off kind of sounding weird on stream. Sorry, that's my dog. Kiss. Do you get it or do you not get it? 1, 2, 3. I knew you were going to say that. Out of the stratosphere. You got thumbs up on Rockets.
Heck yeah.
Well, I'll let you close this one out. So I'll just go quick. Okay. Another band that goes back to my childhood. I knew what Kiss looked like way before I knew what they sounded like. I would buy the trading cards, and I loved the blood. I loved the fire. I loved the face paint and all that stuff. Then they'd come on television and get to watch them perform and stuff. 7 years old, got the 8-track of their first album from Columbia House. Loved it. And then didn't listen to Kiss forever, because it was almost like it felt like it got kind of dissed. And I felt like, maybe that was more of a kid thing or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to admit that I liked Kiss, I was into whole other stuff for a couple decades at least. Finally came back around, listened to Kiss. And I'll be honest, like, when I say if I had a get it, don't get it, I would say even though I loved Kiss as a kid, just the concept of Kiss, and I loved that first album, for decades after that, I didn't get it. I was kind of like, why do people actually love Kiss? Like, grown men are into Kiss. Like, what is this, kind of a thing. Yeah. Man, I'm so sorry about the dog, guys. I don't want to just keep pausing myself, though. But anyway, so yeah, then recently, within the last handful of years or so, listen to other Kiss stuff, their 70s stuff mostly. I get it. You got to take Kiss for what they are, in my opinion. People, they're not great songwriters. They're not great musicians. They're not great this or that. To me, that's not the point. That's not the point. There's a reason to love Kiss. My dog. And I love them for what the niche that they serve. They serve a niche. They fill a niche that no one else does. God bless them for that. I love it. And Kiss is ride or die with me now for that reason. I don't have any I get all the arguments that people don't like Kiss, but I'm down with Kiss. So, all right, you got 2 rockets on your thumbs, man.
Yeah, I mean, I won't repeat everything you just said, but I think the easiest way to kind of put it is that Kiss just made it easy and accessible to love and engage in rock and roll. I mean, really kind of just that simple. I mean, they brought all of the elements that revolved around rock and roll, just between, the image, the creativity, the showmanship, the attitude, a lot of the songs and that type of thing. But nothing was ever taken to a place where it wasn't easily accessible to everyone, where, they're doing the makeup, they're doing all of this, but parents aren't, all the parents, especially over the history of their career, aren't like, oh my God, they're the Devils. I mean, there was someone that was saying that, but most of their parents were painting their kids the exact same face paint and bringing them to the concerts with them. Yeah. That's what I mean by kind of like they made rock and roll just very accessible to everyone, where you can get all these different elements. And it was just one of those things where they just became a part of your story throughout your lifetime, because they were there for it in the 70s when they blew your mind as a kid. They were there for it in the 80s when you were watching MTV and all of a sudden, like, Heaven's on Fire and Tears Are Falling and everything else. And they just like followed you through your life, being a part of your story. And again, I won't get long into this, but I always told you that story about the very first time I saw them, which was like 10, 12 years ago or something like that. And I talked about when I was in grade school and I got the first Alive album and opened up the gatefold and saw the lions and all of that. And then like 12, 13 years ago, when I saw them for the first time, when they did the finale and the risers come up and those same curtains with the gold lions and it was like being inside of the Alive 2 cover. And I remember just being like so floored and locked in that moment of like, holy cow, I am actually in the Alive 2 cover right now. The lions are there, they're up, the flames are going off. And it's like you're in your 40s being taken right back to 5th and 6th grade. Just that there's something magical about that. And any group that can pull that off, they're doing something special, period. So, Kiss is just a little sprinkle of rock and roll that everyone can dip their toe into.
I think Kiss is truly a band where you would say without Kiss, the world would be different in a way. It's weird to think about a world without Kiss. Not even to say like they influenced all this stuff or anything like that. It's just them. Like we live in a Kiss world. It would be so weird to not have that. You know what I mean? I don't know how that resonates, but it's just, so yeah.
Kiss is one of those few bands where even if you don't like them, millions of people that don't like Kiss has talked about Kiss and knows who Kiss is, and the people that don't like their music. So right. Like, that, and not because they committed some crime and made some big storyline. It's just, doing what we do. Even the people that hate us know us.
It'd be like not having cell phones or computers or, I don't know. It's a thing in the world that has to be there. I don't know, man. That's just how I feel about them.
Yeah.
Okay. Boot Trader, sometimes Google mistypes what I'm saying if it looks weird. Haha. I know. Sorry. Sometimes I don't get it. And because it's me and like, it makes sense and I need a translator. It's just my brain. And sometimes I get it. Like sometimes it just doesn't type right. Boot Trader, I never disliked Kiss, but I never really cared for them either. Dr. Johnny, you wanted the best. You got the best. Swift-O-Matic, 4 thumbs up. Rob Walker, let the music play. Thumbs down, Kiss. Never made it in Manchester. I've seen Kiss twice, says Boo Trader, and I like them more nowadays than I did as a kid in the 1970s and 80s. Of course, back then I was being fed the Kings of Satan's service or whatever people that are, Michael says, Kiss, yes, with 15 exclamation points. The first concert I ever went to, legendary Cabo Hall, 1977. Dang, dude. Dang.
Ouch.
Salzine.
The reason I know that has to be amazing is because my favorite Kiss clip is I forgot which hall it was, out in San Francisco in '76 when they performed Deuce. I think is the best lot, that black and white, whatever it is. I mean, the best performance I've ever seen over their entire career, and that was '76. And because that's that magical time when a group is just getting started and they are so freaking hungry and just like their energy, and it's just balls out every single night. Like once they become big and famous, that gets, I mean, it naturally gets lost. But man, I bet that was an amazing freaking experience.
Yeah, that's like if you want to go see what clips, anytime you're going to watch Kiss clips live, that's where you want to go, man. Late 70s. So that's awesome. Salzine, the Who let the dog out. Rob Walker, smiley face with a dog face. I think probably in response to Salzine. Michael, by the way, only the original members. That's why when I did qualify the 70s Kiss, that's kind of where my heart lies for sure. Boo Trader, it's hard doing these messages in a little box on my phone. Not being able to see what's going on. Think my point was made, though. I think Kiss is cool nowadays. We got you, Boo Trader. Swifty, I love how people diss Kiss, saying they aren't good songwriters, but Beatles are gods for I Want to Hold Your Hand, Love Me Do, etc. Man, Swifty's hate for Beatles cannot be outdone.
I'm with you, man.
Well, we're gonna get there. Kiss is not the best band. They're the ultimate rock band, said Salt. I hated Kiss because of my childhood until I saw them alive, 35, 2009. They blew my mind, said LaBelle. Yeah. Dr. Johnny, I've never gone to see Kiss to see anyone's balls out, just saying. Lavelle, I mean my childhood friend Willie, then I got free tickets to Alive 35 in 2009. They blew me away. Woo! All right, moving right along. I love the Kiss stories. All right, here we go. This is one. All right. Do you get it or do you don't get it? Fish. Phish. Fish. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, 3 thumbs down for Fish. So, you mind if I go real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. I have 20 quick seconds, so go ahead.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I was doing a show with Group Seeker for a while, about a year ago or so, and he loves Fish, and he and I hit on so much stuff. He was like, I thought it'd be funny. Like, he's like, man, why don't you like Fish? Let me share some stuff with you. He's constantly sending me like videos and stuff, And I'm like, yeah, I see what people like, but I just don't get it. It's not for me, etc. And then I got the idea, it'd be kind of funny if maybe we do a video, like send me some stuff. Send me like, what are the records I have to hear? What are the videos I have to watch? And then we'll circle back. We'll do a live stream and talk about it. So if you check my history, you'll see where we did that. And I talk about how did I vibe with it? The answer is no, I don't get Fish. I get it, but I don't get it. Like, I'm never going to be a big fan, I don't think. I heard some things where I was like, okay. But so much of it seemed derivative. I just felt like I just loved this stuff in so many other places. I can't talk about the Grateful Dead yet because we haven't got there. But I felt like they were derivative of the Dead and some other things. And I just didn't get it. And it's just a band that I've never really messed with. I tried for Chris. And, look, I think he admits, I think it's one of those things where like you see him live, maybe you start to get the feeling, you start to smell it and you're like, all right. Have not got there yet. Maybe one day, but I do not get Fish. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually pretty like disconnected from Fish. Like I remember some buddies back in college, kind of introducing me to him. I remember listening to some of their stuff. But like right now, I wouldn't even be able to really identify a song or anything like that. So like they're not even on my radar screen to really dislike them now. I have no working clue of Fish at this moment. I know I've heard it, but I can't recall anything. It's been years and years ago.
Yeah, kind of like, I think a lot of people call Grateful Dead a jam band. I do not see the Grateful Dead as a jam band. I do see Fish as a jam band. Sorry, let me fix that. And it came off a little try-hardy to me. However, when you jam that damn much, you are bound to hit on something. And I did catch a little glimpse here and there, but again, it wasn't enough to make me be like, oh, I got to go out and, that's it. I'm a huge Fish fan.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I got on Fish. Boot Trader, I've honestly never really listened to Fish, so I can't say. Swifty, don't know enough about Fish. Are they kind of a Dead type jam band? Saltzine, I don't need the Dead, but give me Fish live. Okay. Michael says, don't get Fish. Never took time to really listen to them. Nothing here. Music in the house. Fish is the smooth jazz of rock. And there you have it.
Yeah.
All right. And that's why they're on the list. I think a lot of people would share much of those sentiments. All right. Next up, we got a little Eminem. Eminem, the most famous white rapper that's, either you love him or you hate him. That's why he's on the list. So Eminem, dude, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Whoa, you could barely, the thumb is barely making an appearance on screen. Just barely. I got one thumb. I'm in here about it,
Yeah.
All right. You go ahead, explain yourself, Mr. Hall of Fame.
I mean, it's one of those things where just like what he does, the way he rhymes, the way he puts together words to rhyme in places that you don't normally see rappers making a match. I mean, it's a gift and a skill that he has, which was kind of very unique. But once you've heard it once, I'm like, after all of these freaking years, I'm tired of all the same, it's like, okay.
Like Elmer Fudd. That's all, folks.
Yeah, it's like it's the same song every time. Again, if you pay attention to what you're doing with the words and how you're rhyming, there's all kind of clever stuff. But I'm not getting that in depth in every single song, and after a while, it's just skibbity.
That's all, folks.
Yeah, so it's like, I want to give you props for what you do, but geez, show you're also maybe versatile. Be able to maybe go in some different directions and do some different things, because it gets old fast.
I do not disagree with you. I 100% I agree with you. I think the reason my thumb was maybe a little bit higher is because I like the early stuff. I like maybe the first 2 albums. I am My Name Is Kid, dude, when that came out and stuff. And when he was on like Spring Break MTV or whatever that was, it was cool. And so that's how I started to vibe with him. I don't care about technical chops. I don't. I care about feeling. I care about emotion. I care about, that kind of stuff. So that doesn't impress me. And my problem with Eminem is just like you said, is that like it gets in the way, I think. It's like, you don't have to just keep getting faster. You don't have to keep trying to add weird words to rhyme. It feels heavy-handed to me. And maybe I'm not listening with an intense enough ear. But to what you said is that for the casual listener, which I would consider myself when it comes to contemporary rap, I am very casual, if that. And so it grates on me, exactly what you said. Like, it doesn't impress me, Now, maybe I'm missing something with the newer stuff. Maybe there's some storytelling there that I'm not getting or whatever and stuff. But I think the other part overpowers it. And it's like, just like you said, that's all, folks. And so I'm kind of turned out. I like the early stuff, and I do respect some of the stuff that he did and coming and being really different, and the skill set and the vibe and all that stuff I liked. At this point, I think it's tired, I think, and it's kind of, at least what I've heard, I'm not going to pretend to sit here and say I've heard every album. I haven't, but I give him his props for that early stuff, and that's why I feel like he's a thumbs up. But that's kind of where I sit with Eminem. Let's see. Swift-O-Matic. Eminem, poor man's vanilla ice cream. Ooh, I don't know if I go there. But I mean, vanilla ice. It's a whole different vibe with ice, right? But yeah, I get it. The other white rapper. Let's not talk about the Beastie Boys. To me, that's a whole. I love the Beastie Boys. That's where, if I'm going to go white rappers, I'm going Beastie Boys. Lose Yourself was good. That's all I have to say about him. Lose Yourself is a phenomenal. I'm glad you brought that up because I almost forgot. Lose Yourself is a phenomenal song, I think. I don't know what you feel about Lose Yourself, but that is songwriting at its best. That is, if he had taken that flavor of ice cream and kind of developed it, I think I would have probably been in love with Eminem, because that song slays all day, in my opinion. So that's a good one. No, thank you, says Boot Trader. Just not my cup of tea, and I couldn't even tell you one of his songs. Lose Yourself. Go check it out. Michael, Eminem, overrated, bore. Voice is grating, and I'm from Detroit. And the emoji, everyone look at that emoji. That says it all. Okay. Next on the list, get it or don't get it, Rod Stewart. 1, 2, 3. 3 thumbs up.
Yes.
Who went first last time? Did you go first last time?
Yeah.
Rod Stewart. The Jeff Beck record that he did. Awesome. That's not the first place I heard Rod Stewart. I heard Rod Stewart in the 80s when MTV was with us. And I loved all that stuff, man, that he did in the 80s. And so good. A great, unique voice. Rod when you hear him. I don't know a lot about, I'm not going to sit here and say he's a great songwriter and stuff, because I don't know where the songs came from. I don't know enough about Rod Stewart. But when you're an 80s kid, and I just think that it was great, man. I loved Rod. And then when I went back and listened to like the Jeff Beck stuff and got to hear it early, I was like, oh, this is cool. So yeah, I messed with Rod Stewart. I'm not going to sit here and say that he's top 10 or anything like that for me, but I like my Rod Stewart. So what about you?
Love Rod. Rod is the man, from the Beck stuff back to me, like with the Faces. But again, just like I was saying with Elton John, my favorite part of his career is still that 80s time frame. Like I've out of order. It means my favorite Rod Stewart album from start to finish. I've always said he's one of those guys that got by where he was doing the stuff with the Faces, Beck and all that stuff we just talked about. And the thing that he was able to do, which can make you a star, is if you can be a rock singer and backdoor in this little Motown flavor with the way that you deliver stuff vocally, it's going to make you a star. And he did that so magically with all of those groups. But yeah, Rod is the absolute man, one of my favorites, and just had killer stuff from decade to decade to decade. Love it.
Another great track, if you grew up in our era, is I think If You Think I'm Sexy. That's such a great track, man. That disco, driving disco beat behind it, and the strings and all that. Yeah. Man, it's so good. It's so good. Boot Trader, I think Rod Stewart had a great voice and did some good music early on. Swifty, Rod Stewart thumbs up, especially with Jeff Beck and Faces. Dr. Johnny, Rod is consistently good. You're in my heart. Infatuation, you wear it well. People get ready. I'll play that Scottish rocker all day. You wear it well. Also, DeBarge. Not to sleep on that. That's a great song. My Rod Stewart is dope, all in caps, says Michael. Every picture tells a story. Love it. Okay. We got about a handful to go, guys. And then, yeah, man, we'll see if, I don't know what Mr. Hall of Fame's timing is. I think we've been on a couple hours already. So we might call it unless you guys have some topics that we can jump into. Okay, next up on the list. Oh, speak of the devil, Jeff Beck himself. Do you get it or you don't get it? 1, 2, 3. Oh, total thumbs down. I'll go first because I want to hear what you have to say. I'm not a massive Jeff Beck guy. I'm not one of those guys. He falls in that same category to me, like a lot of people think of like Clapton. Great guitar player, not my favorite. I mean, I give him the respect. I like the stuff. The music is good, but not someone that I don't put him. And again, I haven't listened to him super critically to say like, oh, he's a guitar god and all this stuff or whatever. He's good. He's fine. I like him. I haven't found a reason to love him. And so that's how I feel about Jeff Beck. All right. You got thumbs down. Why?
Yeah. And just only thumbs down, just from the standpoint of a lot of things you just said there, which like his style of music and the stuff that he did on a lot of his solo albums. It's just not the kind of stuff that I like to listen to. I mean, it really is kind of just that simple. Jeff Beck himself, absolute legend, guitar god. I mean, one of the absolute greats, the whole nine. But it's just with his solo albums and we just listening to it, it's just not the thing that goes, ooh, I want to hear that again. So it really is kind of that simple. So the thumbs down is more about that. It's definitely not about Beck himself. But Beck is the man without question.
Yeah, absolutely. Want to start in the right place here. Lavelle, going back to I dig Marshall Mathers, but nothing after. I think that's kind of where I'm at. Except for Lose Yourself. That's so good. So I can't. I just love that. If someone said karaoke one, I'd be honest with you. And if they said karaoke, a rap song that came out after 2000, I would do that song. It's so good. Swifty, where am I? Oh no. Okay, then we got TRP. Truth and Beckola, great albums. Too bad that Jeff Beck group didn't last longer. Nothing better than I Ain't Superstitious. And I'll be honest, I respect Beck enough that I would go back and listen to those. I'm totally ready to like love them, but I just haven't got that.
Beckola is my favorite one. That's the one album that I do own.
Truth, yeah, that's the one we talked about with Rod Stewart, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a great album for sure. Yeah. Lavelle with the thumbs up on Rod. Swifty, neutral on this. His stuff was too inconsistent. Truth is a masterpiece, but after that, meh. Boot Trader, thumbs down on Jeff Beck. Was definitely talented, but he wasn't consistent in the music he played. He went off into some weird stuff I didn't care for, and I never paid much attention to him. Yeah. Dr. Johnny, seen Jeff Beck twice in concert, mind-blowingly good. That doesn't surprise me. He's definitely one where if I saw him live, I'm sure I would be in love. Very diverse, one of the original guitar gods. There we go. Michael says Jeff Beck is untouchable. He eats Clapton. Ooh, okay. Salt Zine, Beck is greater than Beck. Okay. Hey, I agree with you. If you're talking Beck, yeah, I think Beck is awesome. He's not on the list, but yeah, I love Beck. And then Boot Trader, he was pretty decent in the Yardbirds. Oh yeah, Yardbirds, dude. Which Clapton played in also. Yeah, the Yardbirds are so good. Yeah, thank you for mentioning that, Boot Trader. Yeah, Yardbirds. Can't forget about the Yardbirds.
Yeah, that's totally different than the Beck solo for
right,
sure.
Right. Okay, next up, we got Billy Squier on the list. We got Billy Squier. You get it or you don't get it? 1, 2, 3. Nice. I feel like let me go first again. I want you to finish on this one. I love, why can't I think of the song? The one where he's kind of sitting down with his black and white guitar. That album is called
did I just say no?
The big song on that is called
In the Dark or Stroke Me. Is that on that one?
Yeah, I think they're both on there. In the Dark is one of my favorite 80s rock tunes of this subgenre, if you want to call it that, which we've talked about a lot. I love In the Dark, man. I love it. It's such a good song. To me, Billy Squier gets props for that album. Stroke Me is another one. Other than that, I don't know a lot about Billy Squier, but he's someone I would love to investigate more. You had 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, I mean, like those 2 songs, and like, Everybody Wants You, and like, I mean, he had a number of rockers, and I think, he caught so much flack for doing that Rock Me Tonight, like that horrible video that he did or whatever, and which he really took such a big hit from just that one freaking video. But like, it's like, I really don't care. Like the guy did a great job of bringing like the synths and 80s type of melodies and stuff, and actually still bringing the punch of hard rock, such as In the Dark, which is just one of the most perfect rock songs of all time. I mean, the Stroke and all of that stuff. I mean, he just had some great straight up radio friendly hard rock songs, and he will forever be one of my favorites, man. I freaking love Billy. That's all I got to say about him.
Yeah, I need to go back to that. I want to like him because the stuff that I love enough to say like, all right, I need to take the time and dig deeper because I know I would love that stuff. Yeah, radio friendly rock. That's a great way to say it, right? We're trying to like put a name to the category of groups that kind of played that 80s rock sound that I don't like to call it soft rock. That just sounds too like wimpy. It's not that, but it's that radio friendly rock, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah. Like it's so cool with the song In the Dark. I just have to mention this really quick because like, the song is freaking rocking. And then like it gets to the chorus where he's saying in the dark, in the dark, and he's going through the chorus, and you still feel the song rocking. But if you really pay attention to it, there's really not any guitar that's taking place.
It's that keyboard
chorus.
melody that's going.
Right. It's all keyboard, but yet it's still doing that. And it's like, screw the okie doke, man. Billy's the man. Billy is the man.
In the Dark is phenomenal. And I'm so glad that I got to hear it at the time because I have all those memories tied into it and stuff. It's so good. Mm-hmm. And so it's its own thing. It doesn't sound like anything else. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, what do other people think about Billy? We got Dr. Johnny, love Billy Squier. Makes me want to grab my jean jacket, jump in my Z28 Camaro and crank that music. Let's go. Let's go. The Z28, baby. With the glass off, where you still got the strip down the middle. Boo Trader, Billy Squier, thumbs up, was really a great guitar player and had a great voice. He made some awesome songs. I know he still puts out album after the Disaster video. I don't really know much about him. Yeah, I don't either. I know I love the songs that I've heard, and I'm definitely willing to dig deeper. Swifty Billy Squier, thumbs up. Check out his band Piper before he went solo. Good stuff. Okay, I'm there.
Oh.
Michael Squier, great. Dr. Johnny, his song Big Beat was the basis for so many rap songs. Are you familiar with that one, dude? I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
Boot Trader, I have those Piper albums also. I was as well as a number of the Westwood One radio concerts I was able to get a few years ago. Okay, cool. I love this because I want to keep going with Billy. And then Michael says, Billy never really stayed with me, but he had a few major hits. Thumbs sideways. Boot Trader says, How to Remember the Stroke was the first song I really remember hearing of him. Yeah. Swifty, he makes a ton off rappers sampling his songs. I wasn't even aware of that. That's interesting. Okay. Cool. All right. Next up, we got a little Rick James for you, baby. Rick James. Oh man. See, I'm showing my hand already. I'm already tipping my hand here. Rick James. You get it or you don't get it. 1, 2, 3. Yes. I'll let you go first on this one, dude.
Rick was the what am I going to say? The more masculine Prince before there was a Prince. I mean, Rick was one of those guys that brought rock and roll to funk R&B. He brought the rock and roll attitude and the rock and roll vibe and that whole thing. And yeah, I mean, he just, I mean, he wouldn't have got so strung out on the cocaine and all that. It would have been interesting to see how his career could have gone more long term. But I mean, yeah, you guys know all the hit songs and everything else. It was just all that groovy, funky type of stuff that just made that 80s R&B so fantastic. I mean, that's what he brought to the table, and he did it with great songs. And like I said, he brought the rock and roll spirit to that side of music within R&B, and there'll never be another Rick James.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I mean, yeah, the kind of the more like masculine edge. Because if you just put it on paper, you look at Prince and Rick James and almost say like, oh, they're very similar. There's certain aspects that make them unique of each other on paper, but when you hear them, it's very different.
Right.
He's phenomenal, man. I mean, he's funky as hell, dude. I love the song. Is it You and Me? We fit together like a glove in hand. Funky as hell, man. I love that song, dude. And he just did some great, all the way down to the Mary Jane slow vibe and everything, that he always hit it just right. And I just, man, he's funky. And I love Rick James, and he's part of that whole lineage, you know, when you start talking about all the great artists, you know, coming out of like, oh my God, the Godfather of Soul. I mean, James Brown.
Yeah, James Brown.
Yeah, I put James Brown at the very top, and I think that a lot of that stuff, to me, trickles from James Brown, even Prince, even Rick James, and even a lot of that stuff. And to me, everyone else is just chasing James. I mean, he's just at the very, very top. That's just my opinion. Yeah. But yeah, Rick, to me, coming out of that lineage and the way he did it and everything, it's second to none, man. I mean, I love Prince, but if you put a gun to my head and say you could only listen to Prince or Rick James, and I hate to sit here and make that comparison but you know, you kind of can, I guess. I don't know who I'd pick, man, because I want that hard Rick, funky, a little different, than not as poppy, but not the same kind of poppy. You know, you guys know what I mean. If you guys listen to Prince and Rick James, you know. So yeah. Anyway, 2 thumbs up. Love Rick. Can't live without him. Great stuff. We got let's see. Okay, Boo Trader. I remember. Oh yeah, I think you're just correcting. Yeah. I remember. I got you, Brew Trader. We got you. Swifty, Rick James, 3 thumbs up to the, what is that? Oh, to the moon. Okay. Dr. Johnny Fever, what did the 5 fingers say to the face? Slap, rock and funk pioneer. Swifty, no one rocked the Jerry curl better than Slick Rick. Oh, bro. You ain't never lied, Swifty. Michael, yes, Rick was an accident waiting to funk. Boo Trader. See, look, everyone's got their Rick James hat on right now.
Yeah.
Boo Trader with the thumbs down on Rick James was entertaining, but wasn't he getting into a lot of trouble too? I definitely remember him in the 80s, and his music wasn't my style, but I could deal with it. So thumbs up also. Okay. So we got one thumb up, one thumb down.
Outside of kidnap, torture, and coke, I mean, he wasn't really getting in any trouble.
See, I didn't even know that.
Outside of that, I mean,
yeah, I mean, come on. What do you want, Boo Trader, from your funk artist? Dr. Johnny Fever, also Rick James and Neil Young were bandmates back in the 1960s. What?
Yeah. Yeah, Rick was.
Okay. I got to brush up on my Rick James. All I know is I love the music. Maybe I don't want to brush up on my Rick James. All right. 2 left, guys. 2 left. And they're biggies. They're biggies. So hang on tight. By the way, there was 25. So thanks for sticking through all these. This is number 24. The Lads. The Beatles. Do you get it or do you not get it? 1, 2, 3. Whoa. Big delta between 2 thumbs up and 1 shaky sideways. It could go down, it could go up. We don't know. Who should go first? I'll let you pick.
Yeah, let me go first. Get it out of the way.
Okay.
The Beatles, probably the biggest and most influential band in all of rock and roll history. Probably influenced more artists and more music than any other band ever. But much like I was saying with the Beach Boys, it's the same old freaking thing to me over and over, and I don't see the genius. I don't. And as soon as I say that, people will go, "Oh, but you haven't. You need to go." It's like, yeah. My favorite Beatles sound is Rubber Soul. My favorite Beatles album is Sgt. Pepper's. The White Album, I will never figure out why, like, that goes in that same pot that Sounds is in. I don't get why people think that album is just God's gift to music or whatever else. But again, it's just, for me, they are just another band that made a few songs that I like here and there. I could easily survive with one Beatles greatest hits album, and that'll tide me over for the rest of my life. I don't hear the Beatles mania inspiring the entire world greatness in them. I don't.
All right, you heard it here first. Yeah, I get it. I get the Beatles. I came to them late, like everyone. I heard them on the radio, and just endlessly played on the radio, no matter what era you grew up in, right? I think, talk about the White Album. I think White Album is an interesting album because, to me, I've said the White Album really isn't an album. It's not. I mean, it's, in a way, it's 2 records of music that should have been cut down into one, or those should have been resequenced somehow or whatever. It's a bunch of stuff that seems like maybe it didn't make it on other records. And so I don't think of that in the same way as, like, quote unquote concept records, which I would put Abbey Road in that. I would put Sgt. Pepper in that. You could even almost say they started to go that direction a little bit with, like, Revolver and with Rubber Soul. The early stuff I didn't start to really like until I really got into the post Revolver, or starting at Revolver, Rubber Soul stuff. And I started to really respect that. I think Sgt. Pepper's, I love it. I wouldn't say it's a perfect album. I think there's some stuff that's shoehorned in there that doesn't feel like it necessarily fits, but the great stuff in that album is so great, I think. I'd say a more cohesive record is, well, this is going to sound weird, but to me, a more cohesive album is Abbey Road, even though you could take side 1 and 2 and they almost don't seem like they go together. To me, they actually do, I think, go together in a way, even though that second side is kind of a melody that John Lennon hated. Well, then where were you, John? Show up to the sessions. But I love Abbey Road. It's one of my favorite records. I don't hold the Beatles in reverence. To me, that this isn't like a fanboy talking. It took me a while to come around to them, and when I did, I listened to them a lot, and I just really love the music. I just think of it as that. I think I'm fortunate that I don't feel like I was influenced any kind of way. I came to it on my own. I respect it on my own. I love the music on my own. And I think that's maybe a good place to come with some of this stuff, because it's easy. It can be harder to get in sometimes with these bands when, if you never heard the Beatles before and you just looked at the hype and then you came around, you're probably going to be disappointed. And so even though obviously I knew the Beatles were a big band, it wasn't like I had people saying, you got to listen to the Beatles. Like, people were kind of over the Beatles by the time I came to it. I say over, just in my crowd, young people at that time. Anyway, I'm going on too long. I mess with the Beatles. I love the Beatles. And I like it all, even the early stuff. But again, the early stuff I came to later, like, I just respect it. It's not a reverence thing to me. I just love the music. So, okay, let's see. Man, did anyone even comment on the Beatles? Not a lot of Beatles. I figured the Beatles would get a lot of comments, unless people are still typing. Brandon's like, whatever. They want to move on. Boo Trader says, thumbs up. I definitely get the Beatles, even though I'm not a huge fan. As diehard collectors, my favorite song was always In My Life. Yes. I can appreciate them and what Brandon said about Rubber Soul. Swiftomatic, Beatles, thumbs down. I knew it was coming. Swifty, 3 thumbs down. I've tried thinking there was something wrong, but just doesn't click.
Right. It's like you think there's something wrong with you because you're like, if millions of people are digging, like, what am I missing? I'm missing something.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm a tax man. Like, really?
Oh, how dare you?
You sound like a little punk, is what you sound like. I get by a little help from my friend. It's like, what? What you little? And then Joe Cocker took that song and was like, let me show you little mophead punks how to do this, and just tore it up.
Yeah, I'm always gonna love you, bro. But come on, man. Yeah, this hurts. It's starting to hurt a little.
My bad.
No, I'm kidding. And then Swifty says, we got to be honest with each other no matter what. Okay, Swifty says, plus the early stuff was total bubblegum crap. Look at any of their audiences, all chicks screaming. Yeah, it's true. I'll say this, don't judge a book by its cover. I mean, just because chicks are screaming and all that stuff doesn't mean the music's bad. I would say those two one doesn't make the other one true. However, yeah, that was early Beatles. They were getting a toehold and stuff. And I'm not saying like I love all that stuff. There is some of it I really like. There's stuff that's very different from the stuff that was happening at that time. Not I want to hold your hand and stuff, or she loves you. Yeah. But there's some other things that are kind of snuck in there that are kind of showing the Beatles being actually creative, which they eventually did become. But yeah, I totally get it. That's not me saying that all their early stuff's great.
I'm a tax man.
Dude.
That's probably the one Beatles song that bugs me the most. I don't know why.
That's on. Oh wait, sorry. Honestly, I don't do that. I'm so sorry, guys. I should be showing these. I don't know why I'm out of the habit of doing this. I accidentally clicked on it and it reminded me I should be clicking on these. All right, I'm gonna do that from the rest of the show. Taxman's on Revolver, man. That's a good album. I like that song. That's George Harrison. Yeah. Okay, I know too much. I'm tipping my hand. I know too much. Okay, we had Swifty next. Johnny Fever. Early Beatles were not my thing. Rubber Soul going forward. Yeah, exactly. Where I'm a fan. White Album could have been condensed to a single record. I completely agree. Nobody needs to hear Rocky Raccoon or Number 9 on repeat. Number 9 especially. Ugh. Okay. Michael says, yes, sometimes no. They are not gods to me. Best stuff was before 65. Okay, interesting. Anything after that was okay, except Yellow Submarine. The Balloon Meanies were dope. Thumb sideways. Okay. Salt Zine, Wings is greater than Beatles. Salt Zine also, Drugs ruined them. Boot Trader Yesterday was another favorite of mine. Yesterday, great song. Also George Harrison. Oh wait, or is that Paul McCartney? That's Paul McCartney. Is that Paul McCartney? Yeah. Or am I faded? Don't ask Brandon. Swifty, Yellow Submarine, pure torture.
Yes.
I'll admit I don't even think of that as a Beatles album. That's like a whole different thing to me when it comes to Yellow Submarine. So there we go. Interesting that we have people, and again, the line in the sand, right? Everyone sees it, and some people like the earlier, some people like the later. It's interesting, or some people like none of it, or some people like all of it. Okay, last up. Man, I feel like we're ending the show on 2 downers for my guy, but we got to go. Grateful Dead. Grateful Dead. Do you get it or not? 1, 2, 3. Go ahead. Why don't you get the Grateful Dead?
Well, first of all, I'm going to limit you to just 1 minute of response, okay? Because I already feel like this is going to go into the next show of next Tuesday. But I think with the Grateful Dead, it's one of those things where it's a band that's been around for so long, right? I mean, been popular and everything for so long, so many albums. You know, like, what's the one? Not In the Dark. What's the name of that album?
Yeah, well, there's one called In the Dark.
Oh, yeah, In the Dark from the 80s with Touch of Grey on it.
Yeah,
that was how I was introduced to the Grateful Dead, and I have that album and I like it. But other than that, I have another Grateful Dead's Greatest Hits, and that's the only Dead that I have. And it's like, yeah, have I heard things here and there? But throughout all of my history of music and vinyl and everything else, I can't say I've ever really sat down and just listened to a bunch of Dead. Like I just absolutely haven't. So it's not even so much like they suck kind of thing, as much as outside of those two albums, and again, maybe a few things I've just heard here and there, I really don't have a full working knowledge of the Grateful Dead, as much as they've been in my face for so long. I mean, that's for whatever reason.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost not, it's hard for me to be objective, honestly, because I was born listening to the Dead. I mean, when I came home from the hospital, Europe 72 was playing, and it just got in my DNA and crept in there, and it was there, and it will always be there. And, you know, and that's how it is. I'm a deadhead by birthright, you know, or whatever. And I love their music, man. You know, I like, you know, you kind of split down the middle, like what people were with the Beatles. You almost do that with the Grateful Dead, like studio Dead, live Dead. And I just sort of do that. And I will admit, I love the live stuff. And I talked about it last week, whatever we got on the Dead, and talking about live Dead, Dead Set, Skull and Roses, Europe 72, all just 10 out of 10 albums to me. And I do love the studio stuff as well. You know, for me, it's not fair because I can't listen to that stuff without thinking about my parents, who are both gone now. And so it's very nostalgic and emotional to me to hear that stuff. And so, but I get it. I'm not someone that went to the shows and was a spinner, you know, I'm not someone that traveled to see them, but I was able to see them a few times, you know, and stuff. And I just love them. But it's just, again, it's something that it's in my DNA. And so it's very difficult for me to be like objective. I love everything about the Dead. I get why people wouldn't, you know, but it's just, it's one of those, I don't even tell people like, oh, you know, I don't try to like convert people, because I get it. You know, it's just, you got to come to it. It's gotta, you don't find the Grateful Dead, they find you. So it's, you know, it's one of those deals, right? But yeah, I love them. 2 thumbs up, baby, all day long. So what do we got? We got Michael says Grateful Dead ? Exclamation points. Jason, are you trying to piss me off? Enough said. Well, we were doing pretty good most of the show, Michael. I mean,
that's a great comment.
Salt Zine, some cool album covers, some great album covers.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Boot Trader, I definitely do go the GD a thumbs up for their longevity, their uniqueness. They're allowing bootleggers to tape their shows, etc. Okay, not a lot of Dead love. That's okay, man. That's okay. Like I said, it's just it's a DNA thing with me. All right. Well, there we go. Unless anybody else chimes in with some comments on the list or on the Grateful Dead. Well, I think we might be riding into the sunset. What do you think? It's 8:30. And my time is like 10:30 your time. So
yeah, no, I mean, if people have questions, I'm fine to stick around. Didn't we say we're going to throw one honorable mention in at the end of this?
Oh yeah, that's right. Go ahead. I forgot who it was.
Milli Vanilli.
Oh, that's right.
We threw that out at the very
Milli
end.
Vanilli. Okay. Go ahead, Milli Vanilli. Do you get it or don't? I'll let you count us down.
Oh, you're asking me.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
I totally get it.
I mean, yeah, I mean, that's my commentary. I mean, that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah. I mean, Milli Vanilli will always be cool with me. And I guess it's one of those things too, where they didn't sing the songs. They could sing them close enough to where if they would have just been around 15, 20 years later when auto tunes became the most common thing across the board, it would have been just like half the other artists right now anyway. So I don't care about that piece. Like for me, it was just one of those things where they made my childhood fantastic. Like everything about that album is just, it's all positive, joy, good times to me. And then too, I mean, just two of the absolute coolest dudes you could have ever imagined even looking like back in the 80s. I mean, just cool as heck across the board. And on top of that, I bet almost every single person that slammed them for doing that, especially just like fans or just regular people, if you will, I guarantee if they would have came up to them when they were in their 20s and said, we're going to make you one of the biggest pop stars in the world. You're going to have the rock and roll lifestyle. You're going to have the attention. You're going to be on videos. You're going to be touring the world, but you might have to lip sync.
You never have to step foot in the studio.
Yeah. Every single one of them would have said, hell yes. But since you weren't the one that got that nod and they did, you want to try this. It's like, no, that's taking away the Grammy and all of that. Like, I'm cool with all of that because like you weren't actually performing.
Right.
But just in terms of, again, everything else, man, Rob and Fab will always be cool with me. Love those guys. So.
I mean, all right. Comment section we got. We'll wrap these up. Unless people have questions, we'll keep going if you got questions. But let's see. We got Michael says no thumbs. Don't smile when you say that, Michael. Come on. Unless you're talking about Milli Vanilli, or is that still Grateful Dead? Boo Trader, all thumbs down. I think we're talking about Milli Vanilli at this point.
We're talking.
Or is Grateful Dead?
No,
come on, dude. Swift-O-Matic, Springsteen would be high on my list as a big thumbs down. Yeah, I didn't have the heart to talk about Springsteen, honestly, because I know how much my partner loves Springsteen, and I just haven't put the time in. That was kind of my thing. But yeah, I think he could have easily made the list.
Well, you know, the funny thing for me with Springsteen is like in his early years, it would have been here.
Oh, really?
Going into the 80s, was Born in the USA and all of that. He goes here. Going into the 90s, he goes back here. And going into the 2000s, he comes back here.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so he's definitely kind of whatever you want to call that.
That's funny. Dr. Johnny, the Faces of Milli Vanilli was a facade, but real people sang those songs and it wasn't auto-tuned. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing. They never get the love, right? Who were the singers of those songs, you know? Boo Trader, that's a good memory for you, Brandon, and that's what music should be. Who cares what anybody else likes, because it's you enjoying and listening to it. Boo Trader couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
That is the whole mission statement of Turntable Tales, by the way. And then Michael, Milli, I'm trying to pronounce this. Milli Vanilli. Who is that? Who is that? Salt Zine. I'm going to get the 50th Steal Your Face, though. Yeah. The only thing about Steal Your Face, and I'm not trying to talk you out of it, you should get it. And it's a great album. No, I'm not going to ruin it for you. Never mind. It has some technical issues with it. So maybe when they redo it, they'll figure out a way to improve on it. But yeah, that's a great one. Boo Trader, hey Jason, tuning in a little late tonight. Did you do Journey? No way. Everybody lives Journey. Yeah. It's not even debatable. How can I put them on a get it or don't get it when everyone's just going to get it? I mean, come on. No, I'm just kidding, Boo Trader. But no, Journey did not make the list. Where would you fall on Journey, Boo Trader? Be careful what you say. Be careful what you say. But I think it's funny that you bring up Journey. You know me well. All right, guys. Any other questions? Anything else you want us to talk about? Any questions? Any?
Yeah,
we could interview each other.
Yeah, feel free to throw anything out there.
Don't feel like you have to. If it's quiet, it's all good. We'll just quietly go off into the sunset and see you guys next week. Boo Trader says Hollywood Fall with them being one of my two favorite bands, along with Led Zeppelin. I would fall, and I don't know why Hollywood typed. Okay. But yeah, Boo Trader's having a heck of a time with the keyboard today. He got autocorrect going from I to Hollywood. So okay. I would fall with them being one of my two favorite bands, along with Led Zeppelin. There we go. Well, okay. Well, hey, you brought up Led Zeppelin. Let's go Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah, that's easy. I mean,
that's easy, right? That's why they didn't even make the list. I mean. Michael says Bruce Springsteen is a good night's sleep. Oh, okay. Sounds a little passive aggressive right there.
Just after if you can just stay away from his political stuff, then yeah, just try to appreciate his music.
Yeah. Brew Trader thumbs up all day long. Um, Salt Zine. Are you able to see chat? I don't know if you're looking at chat. It's what, by the way, guys, the reason I read everything because I don't think Brandon's got chat pulled up. So that's why I read everything.
I'm sorry, I don't have it pulled up.
Salt Zine has a winky with a okay and says Meshuggah. And I'm just feeling dumb here. I don't know. Should I get something with that, Brandon?
Well, Meshuggah is kind of I guess like a kind of metal band.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of a little bit different in terms of describing them, but yeah, a pretty cool band.
Got it. Oh, I'm glad I actually pronounced it right.
Yeah. I don't have any vinyl by them, but I have a few of their CDs, which is kind of cool.
Cool. Dr. Johnny, Rush, yes or no? I mean, all day long for me.
Yeah, absolutely yes.
Again, I don't pretend to be a Rush expert. I'm not someone that I don't, dig into the biography and all that, but I love the music and I love the hits. Again, I'm more of I like to have the albums because I love the music enough, even if there's stuff that I don't listen, I don't want to say I skip stuff, but I'm definitely down with their best stuff is unbelievably great. And so, yeah, I love Rush. I mess with Rush all day.
Yeah, I'm that exact same way. Like I have all of their studio albums, but almost anytime I listen to Rush, I go to the stuff I want to hear. I'm not as much about, unless it's like maybe like Slow Hands or something like that. That's kind of more of a concert or greatest hits, more or less, or whatever. But yeah, for the most part, I'm just going to the hits that I want to hear, and I've kind of always been that way with Rush.
Yeah, it's like outside of Geddy Lee, like I have to think really hard to even remember the other musicians and stuff. And I know the drummer died recently. And if someone said Neil Peart, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of look. I'm like shaky. I don't, but if he's mentioned the guitar player's name, I'd be like, oh yes. But dude, I love his style, man. He shreds, dude. His guitar solos on some of their huge hits, man, is just second to none. So good. I always kind of describe it as being very raw and unpolished, which is what makes it so great because he obviously has amazing technical chops, but his style is more raw, I guess, to my way of thinking. I don't know if that even makes sense, but that's kind of where my head goes when I hear him. It's so good.
The thing that always blows my mind is just trying to imagine those bass lines that Geddy plays while he's singing what he's singing, because they rarely line up, like where he's not just in like some just smooth groove where he's staying on rhythm or whatever. He's all over the place, and it's like I don't even know how you remember that, much less actually perform it time and time again. It's really impressive.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and they're touring again, man. I know some people here I think are gonna have seen him or are gonna see him. And problem is, I saw Journey this year, and tickets are so dang expensive these days. It's hard for me to justify seeing, But I would love to see Rush, but let's see what we got. What's currently on your turntable? Well, by the way, Boucher says definitely yes on Rush. Also, Dr. Johnny said both answered correctly. And but yeah, what's on the turntable? For me, what is on the turntable? I've been listening to, I don't want to get down here, but I had a very close family member pass away recently, and it's been tough. And so I've been really listening to stuff that reminded me of him. So I've kind of been just sampling tracks here and there that remind me of our time together. I spent my whole life with this person, and especially my first 21 years, my entire childhood and early, before we kind of went our separate ways as adults and everything. And so spent a lot of time listening to music and stuff. And so, yeah, I was moving the needle back and forth, just listening to some stuff that we would listen to a lot. So it's kind of what's been on my turntable recently. What about you, dude?
Very last thing I spun, which actually was yesterday, I spun Wild Nothing, their album Gemini. I don't know if that rings a bell for anyone, but what I'm actually discovering is, like, over the past 2 years or so, 2 or 3 years, that is probably one of the top 5 albums I've spun the most out of my collection. When I think about how many times I've gone back to it, it's just kind of a indie group, modern indie group, but especially that first album has such an 80s undertone to it. I mean, it's so very 80s and indie come together. And I love the feel of it. It just freaking feels good. And like I said, I find myself playing it all the time, and it's always popping up in my What's Been Spinning videos, and it's going to be in my next What's Been Spinning video. But
That's cool.
if you're not familiar with it, check out the song Summer Holiday. That's my favorite song off of the album. And yeah, really, really great group. Even though that they're so hipsterish. That's the group I've always made fun of, where I say every time I see them, like a live performance or something, I want to punch every single one of them in the face. And it's no exaggeration. I just look at them and think, there's no way I could like you. If I met you, I would want to punch you in the face. And they're probably all great guys, but it's just something about their hipstery look that I'm just like, ugh. But yeah,
that's funny,
awesome
dude.
group, awesome album. I don't know
that's
why.
Funny. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, heck, the other day I was spinning what was I spinning? UTFO and yeah, I still have a lot of like blank spots since I'm trying to rebuild a collection in my early hip hop. Mm-hmm. And stuff like Houdini. I'm like listening to it on streaming because it's funny. I think you showed me that and I really liked that compilation that you showed me, and it got me thinking. And so like from that moment on, I was off on a tangent listening to all that stuff, man. I love it.
Yeah, that rap hits that's what's actually called, Raps Hits compilation.
Yeah, it's funny. There's a like an Instagram short or something like that of somebody where or wait, was this? I'm almost thinking it's a Key and Peele skit, but I'm not sure. Where the guy goes up to the DJ and he's like, maybe it is Key and Peele, and he goes, "Yeah, man, play some of that old school hip hop." And he's all, "Okay, I got you. You want to hear something?" He starts talking about like some 2000s like rapper where he's all, nah man, I want that old school stuff. He's all, "Okay, dude, so you want to hear some da 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 da?" And he's like, "Nah man, come on, I'm talking about old school. Give me the old." And he kept going back to back. It's hilarious, dude. That's kind of like how I am. Mm-hmm. When we're talking old school with me, I mean, I'm talking about Fat Boys, I'm talking about UTFO, I'm talking about Houdini, I'm talking about that's old school to me, man. Like I want to go back to the roots.
Yeah, that's definitely good stuff. There was, I don't think I sent it to you, but there was some kid on Instagram that made a clip where he said he was kind of making fun of the old guys because he was like, you old guys always talking about how weak and stupid our hip hop is, when your stuff was like, and then he made his own little rap and video, and and the first thing you want to say is like, screw you, you don't know what real. But the freaking video that he made, man, rapping about riding his bike and all this, it was funny as hell because you were like, well, you're kind of right. So I can't really get mad at you because that's how silly the stuff was that we like. I wish I would have sent it to you. But
oh yeah, that sounds funny, dude. And I mean, you're not wrong. And that's how my son is, right? Because he's really into like modern stuff. He messes with Eminem and like a lot of stuff that's come out recently and stuff. And I like rap too, hip hop too. It's just like we come from totally different eras. And so he's like, man, dude, I cannot listen to that stuff. I'm all, no, come on, dude, shut up. You're messing it up for me. I was gonna say something else. I forgot. Okay, let's see. What's we got? Rush equals icon. Dr. Johnny says Alex Lifeson. I missed something. Where'd that come from? What's that?
That's the guitarist's name is Alex.
Oh, right. Okay, got it. How did I not? Okay, well, I admit I didn't even know his last name was Lifeson. Yeah, Alex. Michael, by Tor and the Snow Dog rocks. Boot Trader, Alex Lifeson is an incredible guitar player. Songs like La Villa, Strangiato, and Hypnotizing. He's phenomenal. Yeah, I put him right up there, man. Swift-O-Matic, U2 would have been a good entry on tonight's list. That would be a good
That would
one.
be a good one.
All right, maybe once I get through these, we'll have to do U2. Boot Trader, my last two spins from today were the Giles in McDonald LP from 1971, I think, and Janis Joplin with Big Brother, and the Holding Company at the Grand Ballroom in 68. That's cool. Yeah, man. Big Brother with Janis, dude. Underrated. I mean, I think Cheap Thrills, right? That's the one I'm trying to think of. That it sounds live, but isn't. So they added all that, whatever, the audience sound and stuff. Dude, that album slaps. And I mean, I know it's one of those it's one that everyone has had over the years, the 60s and 70s, and you had to have, or 70s and whatever, in the 80s, you had to have it. But I don't know if it's lost its luster or people start to forget. I don't hear it talked about that much, and I can see it being I mean, it's Janis. I mean, it's Cheap Thrills, whatever. We've heard it. Bro, man, I put that on again a couple years ago for the first time, and dude, it kills. I love that album.
Yeah.
Michael, thank you so much. Oh yeah, sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, it's life and it sucks, man. Boot Trader, Giles, and McDonald. Orange Margin, what's up, Orange? Wild Nothing Nice. I have Nocturne and Indigo.
Yeah. Nocturne's really good.
Salsine, don't forget the Nucleus. Oh, you nailed it, baby. Yes, the Nucleus is right there, dude. So here's that. This is where I go back and forth, remember? Because we were talking about Nucleus, and I need my Nucleus. I don't have a copy right now. But I also need my Midnight Star. I don't have a copy right now. And I was like, man, Nucleus is greater than Midnight Star. But then I'm like, I don't know, man. Midnight Star might be greater than Nucleus, because I was listening to some Midnight Star the other day. They're both so good. It's hard to pick one. And we don't have to. We get them both.
Great thing about it, yeah.
That's a great thing about it. Boot Trader, yeah, thanks, Boot Trader. Appreciate you. Grandmaster was fun, absolutely. Which, yeah, I mean, he still does his thing, man. It's fun if you follow him. He does his live streams and stuff where he still spins and everything. So it's really fun. Check those out. Boot Trader, I swear I'm proofreading these will magnifier and then words change after I hit the send button. Sure, Boot Trader. I've used that one before. It doesn't work. Dr. Johnny picked up an OG press of Lauryn Hill's Miseducation today for $5. I'll be spinning that later. Nice. That was a topic of our Rock and Roll Hall of Fame discussion video that we did.
Yeah.
And then Michael says, Janis Joplin was an incredible loss. What a voice. Yeah, Janis has a kind of special place in my heart too. Not because I'm like this huge Janis fan, but my mom loved Janis, man. And so it's like we had the video. There was a VHS of her that we, was always kind of, and I probably capped on her more than anything. I was probably like, oh man, come on, mom, what is that way and stuff. But then I started to get appreciation for it and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said there's something special about Janis just by the fact that she turned into a 60-year-old woman when she started to perform. Like you see her off stage and she looks like a 19-year-old girl. Like she looks like a 19-year-old girl. She starts to perform and let that stuff out. She looks and sounds like she's 60.
Like she just got out of like driving a truck across country or something and jumped out and grabbed a microphone.
It was always the strangest thing, which is kind of like, there was something special that just was buried down in her until she got behind that microphone.
Well, really? You know who else who kind of has that vibe, which we didn't get into, which we could have, which is Grace Slick, of course, out of, Jefferson Airplane, Starship, etc. fame. And it's funny because she's beautiful and is an awesome singer. But bro, get her talking to you and she is like cussing her head off and all, you know what I mean? It's like, this is kind of funny, it's like, whoa, slow down, Grace.
Now that was something else I spun yesterday was that Starship. I got in the 80s mood and I was like, I want something really 80s. And I was like, what's more 80s than like Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now? And so I put that Starship on and fantastic listen, man. So
I
much
wish
fun.
I wish there was a greatest hits on vinyl that had, and I don't think there is. There's a greatest hits CD or a stream that I listen to that has all that great stuff. It needs. I don't know why there's not one on vinyl. At least that I know of, man. Because I would love that, dude. Sarah, such a great song.
Yeah, it's so funny you said that, because after I listened to that Starship, I thought I do have a 2 CD that covers everything from Airplane all the way through the late 80s, early 90s of Starship. And I thought, let me see if they have that on vinyl. And I went and looked on Discogs, and no, there's no. I mean, they'll probably be like a 4 LP if they did press it, but it'd be worth it. I mean, I'd pay $80 for it.
I'd be okay if they even wanted to break it into chunks and said, like, all right, Airplane is its own thing, and then let's do Jefferson Starship, then let's do Starship. You know, let it be 3 different albums. I mean, yeah,
That'd be an awesome box set. Ooh.
Yes. Oh, yes, it would be. All right.
Like
I could have made it on our record store day want list for sure, man. Come on, guys.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Michael, Great Slick is like no other. Boot Trader. I bought Jefferson Airplane compilation that was 2 records and sort of the greatest hits just last week. It's called 2400 Fulton Street, and it was made in '87 and sounds spectacular. Okay.
Oh yeah,
I'll look
I
into
have
that.
It's kind of more their earlier stuff. It's pretty good. That's a cool album cover too.
Who I always forget this guy's name. The lead singer in Starship, the guy that does Sarah.
Is it Mickey Thomas? I think.
I think that's him, right?
Yeah.
I'll be honest. To me, that's the wheelhouse. He is awesome, and I know people have different kind of feelings about him. I don't know why. I love the stuff that they did with him, and I love the songs that he did, man. And if that's the greatest hits I want. And Starship is hard for me because I love their greatest hit stuff, and I don't really care as much for the other stuff. And because their stuff is so scattered among like, you know, if I was to get all the tracks I really wanted, I'd have to get like 5 or 6 records or something. And I'm just like, man, I'm not doing that. Just do a greatest hits.
Yeah. That's why you got to start collecting CDs too, man. We got to get you on this. We got to get you on the CD side.
I mean, I told you, it's kind of like if I'm going to collect CDs, I might as well start, you know, just stream the stuff. That's the way I feel about it. I mean, I know it's like not like CDs weren't a big part of my life, you know, but it's just I just don't have the same nostalgia as I do.
Yeah.
You know? And then it's just another money sink, although not nearly as bad as vinyl.
Yeah. No, yeah. Definitely.
JP says, has any other band changed their name 3 times? Yeah, that's a good question. Not that I know of.
Yeah,
New Order was twice.
Like Faces, Small Faces.
The Grateful Dead, maybe, but then they really different permutations, right? They went from the Grateful Dead to the Dead to the other ones to they've actually changed a bunch of times, but then so has the lineup has changed a lot too.
Yeah.
Jane, yep, that's another one.
Great track.
So Jane is great, dude. This is one I hold up when people say like, oh, you know, I don't care. That is the one I hold up because he kills that vocal.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. Jane, you say it's all over for me and you, girl, right? That's that first line, if I'm not mistaken. And he just slays out. He always goes to the right note. He doesn't get lazy. He hits that boom, that one that gets your voice tight every time. It's so good.
And I have that one album. I haven't spun it in a while, but I think it's is it Living with the Cannibals? I think is what it's called. Remember that song Not Enough? It was like 89 night.
Yeah. That's a great one too.
It's like when you go to that chorus and just listen to Mickey's voice, his like just the power of his delivery.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just made for 80s big stadium rock. His voice
100%.
is phenomenal.
Super underrated, man.
I'm gonna have to spin that tonight now. So I haven't spun it in a while.
Marty Balin with Starship's vocalist too. He sang some of their biggest hits. That's the thing. Are we getting I want to make sure we got the name right. So Jane, Starship, because I know he sings on. Oh, there go my headphones. All right. Mickey Thomas, and then Marty Balin. Yeah, I'd have to know what tracks Marty Balin's on, but yeah, Can you say something?
Uh,
Okay, there we go. I want to make sure I still heard you because
oh,
my battery died.
gotcha.
Find your way back. Yes, thank you. I was blanking out on all the great ones, man.
So many good tracks, man.
Find your way back. Yeah, that song's so good, dude. Yes. Where is the greatest hits for Starship? We need it. I'm glad. I'm impressed. Everyone in chat is like vibing. That's awesome. We're in good company. Mickey Thomas was main singer on Elvin. What's that?
I said Starship stuck around for a reason. It wasn't because their music was crap. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's funny when you hear them talk about it. Like Grace Slick is like, what's this? Their biggest song is called
"We Built
This City," and she's almost like embarrassed that they made that. I can't believe like we built this city. Like, come on, man. And because I think it ends up on a lot of lists of like worst songs.
Yep.
It's not. Come on.
Exactly.
Don't give me that crap.
Screw them. No.
And people try to say like, oh, the lyrics are so corny. Bro, have you heard 80% of 80s music? The lyrics are corny AF, dude. Come on.
Yeah, screw that, man. That stuff is so fun. That's so awesome. Whatever.
Mickey Thomas was main singer on Elvin Bishop, Fooled Around and Fell in Love. Love that track. Yes, that's right. Elvin Bishop is someone. My dad was a big Elvin Bishop guy, and I just never really explored Elvin, but I feel like he's someone I need to kind of get to at some point.
Yeah.
But that song is extremely popular. Obviously, that's probably his most famous song. Boo Trader, thanks, Michael. I couldn't remember his last name. Who sang that song Miracles that they did, and I really like. Dr. Johnny, Exhibit A, Falco, Rock Me Amadeus. Say no more. Amadeus. Yeah, there's a lot. Of course, I'm not gonna be able to think of any off the top of my head, but there's some cheesy lyrics out there. Come on.
Oh yeah.
Marty saying Miracles, said Michael. Which one's Miracles? I don't remember that one off the top of my head.
By who?
Is that a Starship song?
Miracles? It's not ringing a bell in my head.
Yeah. Is that I guess that's what you're talking about on Red Octopus, Miracles? Okay, I'd have to hear it. Well, I'm gonna hit play right here. Oh. Gotta watch an ad first. I can't play it. I'm afraid of that. I swear to God, most people can get away with playing all the music they want to. I play 2 seconds of a song and they like delete it off of YouTube. Okay. Well, what do you think, man? 3 hours is good?
Unless anyone has any other questions. I guess no more popping up.
Yeah, I know we don't. I can't remember. I don't know how much Beach Boy love we got earlier. I know you and I were split on Beach Boy. We pulled out some records. I was going to try to show some I thought it'd be fun to like show the record for stuff that we got, as opposed to didn't got. But I didn't have all the records to the artists, so we didn't end up doing it. But I did pull this Beach Boys. If you are a Pet Sounds fan and you are a Beach Boys fan, this is interesting. This is called The Vocals Only. And it's just a cappella. Somebody remixed it without the music. So if you just want, if you just want to hear the great harmonies, there it is, right there. The Vocals Only Pet Sounds. I'm not going to send this to Brandon, obviously. So, Miracle's a killer check. All right, well, I got it queued up. I'm going to listen to that as soon as the stream's over. YouTube question mark. I mean, all day long.
Yeah. Pull your microphone back in front of you.
Sorry.
Clear. There you go. Yeah.
Echo stop. Okay. So yeah, I said Miracle's killer track. Yes, I'm gonna listen to that as soon as we stop the stream. Dr. Johnny Fever, U2 question mark, U2 all day long. Love U2.
Yeah.
I even love you. I don't just need early U2. I'm good with Achtung Baby is a fantastic album with The Fly on it, which to me has one of the probably the Edge's best guitar solo in my opinion. Absolute. It's a guitar solo that will bring tears to my eyes. It's so moving and so good. And then the one after that, Zooropa, right? Another fantastic album. I mean, I love it. So I love their early, straight up kind of rock stuff. And then they got into that more, adding electronic elements and stuff like that. Love that too. So yeah, I'm all about U2.
Yeah, with the exception of those last 2 albums they did, like everything else is kind of fantastic. Those last 2 really sucked in my opinion, but
I haven't heard those.
Yeah, well, you're not missing anything.
I mean, It's a Beautiful Day is another great track. I don't know the whole album, but that's an awesome song.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day. And then the one right after that, Magnificent, another great track. To me, they had a lot of good stuff that kept coming on down the years. Again, it's just those last 2 albums. I just really didn't hear anything on those where I feel like I had to go back to it again. But maybe I need to. Maybe I just wasn't in the right mindset when I, heard them.
Yeah. You see that thing where Jimmy Fallon will take people into like a subway and they dress up a band kind of like in disguise and they start playing and stuff. And then all of a sudden, like they take off it's like, anyway, the band reveals who they are and all these people are just cruising through a New York subway. Like, oh my God, well, he had U2 on one of those. I don't know if you saw it, but and then so it's like there's U2 in the middle of the dang subway and everyone walking by like, what is happening right now, man? It was so good.
Yeah, I love those kind of things. Those are always a blast.
Dr. Johnny, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say just really quick, my favorite one of all time, it wasn't Fallon, but the people were like in this cafe, just like, there was maybe 10, 12 tables that were set up, like tables of 4. And then like all of a sudden you hear this drum hit and it startles all of them. And this freaking curtain falls, looks like a wall, and Paul McCartney.
I saw that one too.
What I'm talking about. And he starts singing, and it's just like,
could you imagine
that? And yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, and as much as I don't even like him, I could not be happier for those people.
Yeah.
To just think we're just sitting there in a freaking cafe, and all of a sudden, with 1 second and change in my reality, Paul McCartney's performing live on stage.
That would be insane.
So freaking cool.
That'd be crazy. Dr. Johnny speaking highly of Pop. I don't know if I've ever heard Pop. I kind of, after like Zooropa, I sort of just, I don't know. It's not that I just didn't, I don't know. I just didn't listen to the stuff after that for whatever reason. Like I was hanging with music up until that point, and then I kind of lost track of them. I think that came out right after Zooropa, or right at that time, right, dude? I think.
Yeah, I do have it. It's probably the one of the YouTubes I go to the least, but I mean, I do have it because it is a definitely a good album. I was trying to think of exactly what my favorite song would be off of that, but there's not a specific one actually that's coming to mind. So it's definitely one of the ones that's lower on my YouTube fan list, so to speak.
Yeah, I'd have to hear it again, but yeah, it's worth checking out. Dr. Johnny speaking highly. I'll definitely check it out. New Year's Day, says JP. Yes, old school. Love New Year's Day. Under a Blood Red Sky, man. I think that's the name of their live. So the single LP live album that they did, which is freaking great, man. So much great, and I think that's on there. So much great stuff.
Yeah.
Swifty, what U2 song did? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, dude.
I was gonna say a pop Discotheque. That's the song that wasn't coming to mind off of that album.
Okay.
A song called Discotheque.
Swifty says, what U2 song did Apple put on every iPhone like 10 years ago? You couldn't even delete it. I think it was longer than 10 years ago, but yeah, I know, dude. Wasn't it a whole album?
Yeah, they put the whole album. Yeah. It was kind of nerve-wracking.
I was already kind of not following U2 at that point, so I didn't really even bat an eye. But yeah, I remember that being a huge controversy. People like, get this off my phone.
Putting this crap on my phone. Come on.
Yes, Zooropa 11. Michael, you're speaking my language, man. That's such a great song. Lemon. I can't get my voice in that falsetto anymore, but I used to sing the hell out of that song.
Yeah, that's such
Well,
a
yeah,
great.
that's the one where he sings the lyric, right? I feel like I'm drifting from the shore. I feel like I forget. I remember but they're so great. The lyrics of that track are amazing. Um, Songs of Innocence says Orange, responding to what is Songs of Innocence? Oh, okay, so that's the one that came out that he put on on the iTunes, I guess.
Yeah, Songs of Innocence and what was that other one? Songs of Surrender, I think. Where yeah, like both of those were just kind of like if U2 never made those two albums, everything would have been equally as fine.
When was that? It seems longer than 10 years, wasn't it?
Songs of Surrender, that was it 2000, was it 14?
Well, is it Songs of Innocence the one that went on the iPhones?
Yeah, I think Songs of Innocence was 2014, I think.
Someone will know
2015
by the time I
maybe,
look this up.
somewhere in there.
Okay. Usually the date pops right up.
Here, let me
Was it
see.
2014? Okay, more recent than I thought then. You're right, Swifty. That seems like a long time ago.
I mean, it's 12 years ago. It's also over a decade ago.
I was gonna say like longer, but yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, that's a while. Listen, Dr. Johnny says, listen to Staring at the Sun and Gone Off Pop and get back to me. Okay. Hold on, let me copy and paste this because I'm gonna go look at it. I said I was gonna actually show these on screen. I'm sorry, guys. I know most people can multitask better than I can. I'm not like showing these comments on screen.
I'm gonna pull Pop out and put it in my waiting to be spun pile because I haven't played that record in a while.
Songs of Experience was the other album, says Dr. Johnny. Boom, right there. Songs of Surrender were reimaginings of their songs.
Yeah, they could have kept that one.
All righty. Anything else? So every time I get caught up on comments, I don't know what to do. When I think of that pop song or the pop title, I think of that Primus album called what's it called? Something Pop. That came out probably around 2000. Probably around 2000. Anti-Pop, 1999. Dang, I was almost dead on. October 19th, 1999. I like that album, and I don't know if there's any Primus fans in the house, but that was probably a tipping point for them also, where their music was one way, and then they came out with Anti-Pop. But man, I bought that on CD when it came out because I was a huge Primus fan, and I love that one.
You know, the only ones, outside of the Brown album, I don't know that much by.
Oh, really?
I mean, I've had a few of their other albums before in the past, and I ended up like, oh, the value in selling them because I don't really listen to them, and the Brown album is kind of the only one I ever really go back to.
I was really into Sailing the Seas of Cheese when that came out. That was kind of when I was really into their stuff. It's like when you're into a band, like that first new album that comes out after you get into them, I feel like oftentimes that's the one that I vibe with most because you just feel like, oh yeah, you were there right when it came out. And Sailing the Seas of Cheese, that's got like, where's that? Jerry was a race car driver on it, and I don't know. It's got some. I think it's really good, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Here Come the Bastards, Sergeant Baker, Jerry was a race car driver. Yeah, that's a cool album. But they also do a cover of Have a Cigar, which is a Pink Floyd song, right?
Yeah.
Which is really good. Oh, and they do, you know what they do that's awesome? Is Making Plans for Nigel. There's an EP where they, in talking about Primus, they do Making Plans for Nigel by, XTC.
I was gonna say that. I was right, but I was like, that can't be right. That's gonna sound stupid. Don't say that.
And that's got a great little drum riff in it, which is cool. And Primus kills it. It's really good.
Gotta trust myself more often.
U2's first album, Boys, pure young Irish angst. Electric Company, fantastic. Yeah, that's a great one. That early U2, man.
Yeah, it's so good, man. The Edge and Bono were just so in sync back then. I mean, not that they weren't later, but it was just something about the way they came together initially was just the absolute perfect match.
I mean, Sunday Bloody Sunday, dude. Watching that video back on MTV, man, that was like, if you weren't sold on U2 with that video, it was just so dang cool, man.
And that whole intro to I Will Follow, I think has to be one of those definitive, like that intro just defines what the 80s were. You know, it's like you hear it, the only thing you can think about is the 80s. Like there's nothing else you can go to in your mind. It's so perfect.
So good.
For some strange reason, like I don't know, I Will Follow. It wasn't in the Valley Girl movie. It wasn't in the Valley Girl soundtrack, was it?
That I don't know.
I don't think it was.
I was going to shout out Gloria too. That's a great version on Under a Blood Red Sky. Let's see.
Yeah, look.
By the way, man, that soundtrack is brutal to try to track down, man.
I wish they would reissue it already.
And it actually has a couple different pressings, but man.
Yeah, and they still just like a freaking fortune.
That's got Melt With You by Modern English. Love My Way is on there. Psychedelic Furs. Who Can It Be Now? Men at Work. Oh, we could have had Men at Work on this list. Are you, do you get Men at Work or no?
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Men at Work be putting in work.
The best $5 you'll ever spend, dude.
No kidding. Yeah, so yeah, I just double checking it. So it's not on the Valley Girl soundtrack. Yet for whatever reason, every time I hear the song I Will Follow in the intro, my mind immediately goes to the movie Valley Girl.
Is there a 2 LP version of that soundtrack? I don't know if it's a bootleg. I thought I saw that.
No, I think there's like a official Japanese pressing that's a 2 LP.
Yeah. And it's not on that one either?
Let me see here.
While you're looking that up, JP says guitar player for Primus was in the thrash metal band Possessed in the 80s. That's cool. I like some thrash.
You know, it's not on the 2 LP either. Man, I don't know how to get my hands on that freaking soundtrack though.
I showed you that listing. There was a guy that had one in my area.
Yeah.
On like Facebook Marketplace, but yeah, he was asking way too much.
Asking way too much.
Michael says XTC are unbelievable. Yes, I saw them live when Andy Partridge was still in the band, 1980. I still have the ticket stuff. Wow, 1980, dude.
Jeez.
I didn't even know they went back that far. I love the album Lemons, whatever that one is. That's got like two of my favorite songs of theirs are on that. Oh, Mayor of Simpleton. I love that song, dude. Oh, and then is it King for a Day or am I? It's King something. Yeah, those are both fantastic. XTC is awesome. Oranges and Lemons. I need a copy of that. I don't have it. King for a Day. Yeah, Mayor of Simpleton and King for a Day. So good. I Will Follow was on the Last American Virgin soundtrack.
Was it?
You have that probably, don't you?
Yeah, I have that soundtrack. That's such a good soundtrack. Oh my god.
I still have to watch that.
Man. You could take everything on the soundtrack and just go listen to everything that's not on the soundtrack, and that's still a fantastic soundtrack.
So maybe you just got it mixed up then. Maybe it's on that soundtrack, or do you think it was on both?
No, I didn't think it was on the soundtrack. It's just something about it that it's so 80s sounding that it takes me to some of the most 80s images in my mind. And for
Okay.
some reason that ends up being Valley Girl all the time. I don't know why.
Okay.
But it's just that strong association is all I was saying.
Oh, that's got I Know What Boys Like by the Waitresses. That song's so good.
Oh, I'm telling you, man. I know I've said it so many times before. You go watch Last American Virgin, and the first 15 to 20 minutes of the movie, switching with different scenes, there's never a stop in music. As soon as a scene changes, a new song kicks in, and it's all current popular music across the board. They literally just shoved as many 80s hits as they could put into that movie.
It's on the list, man. I just haven't got. I told you this. I do not watch a lot of movies, and so
Mhm.
much as I love them, my whatever you want to call it, 2026 attention span has been completely destroyed because of social media, and it's just so hard. But yeah, I wanna watch that. Um, Dr. John says it's an alternative version of the song, so you must get the soundtrack. That's kind of cool when they do that, get a little different. That's like Ferris Bueller, how they did English Beat, their song Rotating Heads got a remix and they changed the title of it for that movie, as well as the Smiths song Let Me Get What I Want. Please Let Me Get What I Want, I think is the title. And it's like just a instrumental version also. So yeah, you got to have the soundtrack for those, which there's not a Ferris Bueller. I don't think there's an official Ferris Bueller soundtrack. I think there's a bootleg.
Huh.
It might be a good one to look up because I'd buy that one in a minute. While you're looking that up, Salt Zine says one could fit 250 U2 albums on a U2 iPod. It's funny, yeah, back in the day when that was an issue, like having enough space for MP3s.
Yeah.
Respectable Street. I had to look it up. XTC song, Respectable Street. Yeah, I'll check that out.
Hmm.
No Ferris Bueller's, right? No official one.
Yeah, I guess not.
I don't know why. I've seen like bootlegs of it. What do you guys think about no bootlegs on Discogs? You and I have kind of talked about this a little bit, but I think this is a subject I'd like to hear from people. It's like I am pissed because they go back and forth. I bought an album on Discogs that was considered a bootleg. They had like 5 or 6 different pressings of it, listings of pressings on Discogs. All of them were considered bootlegs that were not allowed sale. One of them was allowed. I bought it and I had it in the collection, and like a dumbass, I sold it. And next time I went to go try to find a copy, they blocked that pressing too. So now all pressings of this album are considered bootlegs and you cannot sell them on Discogs. I don't know what the penalty or whatever is for selling bootlegs and stuff like that. I get it if they want to avoid lawsuits and stuff. It's
Right.
just, why do they go back and forth? Why do they allow certain things but not others? I have Zappa bootlegs that you can get on Discogs, but then I have like Cure bootlegs that you can't. Why do they decide what is a bootleg, what's unofficial, I'm annoyed by it. I don't know. What do you think about that, dude? Should you just be able to buy bootlegs? It's they list them, but they just don't let you list them for sale.
Yeah, I guess I'm not 1000% clear on what they're protecting. Obviously, I think that they are protecting something because it's not like they don't want more sales and maybe it's kind of like protecting the integrity of the site. If more fake stuff ends up going out and that type of thing, then it kind of hurts their reputation and people are more scared to buy. because I don't think there's any legality to it. At least not that I would think I could be aware of. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess I would like to know just kind of why the policy is the way that it is, because there has to be something on that side of just kind of protecting the integrity of the site.
I guess. I mean, I just feel like if it's there's a lot of bootlegs that are very well documented, right? Like, especially older stuff. Like, I get it. Maybe I don't know. I guess it's kind of a where do you draw the line thing. It's like you don't want people just like every new record that Taylor Swift, every album gets a bootleg or something. And, I don't know. I don't know where you would draw the line. But in terms of the spirit of Discogs and the spirit of being, mostly used collectors, I would guess, and stuff I don't know. Yeah. I do feel like it does feel like it's a selfish reason. First of all, I guess I'm trying to justify it, with some confirmation bias. But man, I would love to see some of this stuff available on there, because it just, there's people that I think the transaction would be completely equitable in every way. And I don't think anybody would lose anything or get pissed off or anything like that, but they just shut it down, and it makes people that would otherwise collect this stuff, and I think it maybe even drives the price up more because there's less access. I don't know. Again, that's just me trying to make an argument for not being able to find the stuff I want on there.
Yeah.
How do we have an Airplane soundtrack and not a Ferris Bueller soundtrack? That's just criminal. That's funny. What the heck is the Airplane soundtrack? I know, that's funny. Boot Trader says nothing bootleg should be allowed. I'm not talking about the copies of official albums so much. I'm talking about the rare recordings for live shows. They should be allowed, you're saying? I read nothing, but say bootlegs, and I know Boot Trader. His phone is not his friend right now in terms of trying to type these messages out. So we get it. I just learned the other day that Discogs does not mark a bootleg as unsellable on their platform until somebody makes a complaint about it. Okay. So you can find some being sold and others blocked.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it is. What I said in the first time was I think bootleg should be allowed. Okay. Salt Zine, Jason doesn't mind being an accomplice. I guess, I don't know. I just feel like for me, I'm talking about older stuff, right? I'm talking about these bootlegs have been out in the 70s and the 80s and stuff. And I'm sort of like, I don't know. I know, again, that's not talking like an artist, right? I mean, Frank Zappa used to talk about it all the time. Like, yeah, all those bootlegs that are out, you should not buy them. And in fact, he went ahead and did his own series based on the bootlegs. He just repressed them and put them in a box set and sold them so that to take it out of the hands of bootleggers. I get it. The whole concept of bootlegging goes against, the artists and all this. I guess I'm sort of like, as a historical document though, I don't know. I get it. Don't shut me down, Discogs.
Yeah, I think all bootlegs should be perfectly fine until the artist gives you an official copy. Then you can take the bootleg off.
There you go.
How's that?
I like it. I like what he said. Michael, Jason, check out the album Black Sea by XTC. I absolutely will. It was the album they were touring in 1980. They were huge on college radio then, Respectable Street and Generals and Generals and Major. That's another great one too. Okay. Now I know. Yeah, because I love Generals and Majors. I'm right there. Yes, they should be, says Boot Trader. Arson, what's up, Arson? Says, how about Ben Folds?
Yeah.
Who is Ben Folds, Brandon?
Ben Folds 5. Remember they had that song, Brick. I think was their big hit. She's a brick and I'm drowning slowly.
Oh my God, I have to hear it. I'd have to hear it. I don't remember that. I don't remember ever hearing the band name. Huh?
I'm sure you've heard it before.
I probably heard it. Give me the boot, said Salzine. Like, give me the loot, but give me the boot. I like it. All right, dude. I think I got to call it now just on, yeah, just because. My girlfriend's taking out the dog for the last. I'm getting the wrap it up signal from the studio. So, guys, this was fun. Yes, I love a little. Do you mess with this or not? And yeah, there was. I like the controversy. There's a bunch that we didn't agree on, which I kind of expected. So that was cool.
Indeed. All right, man. Blast as always.
Blast as always, guys. Thanks so much. We will see you next week. Probably same bat time. Definitely same bat channels. And thanks for being here. Boot Trader, Saltzine, everybody who hung out today. Johnny Fever, as always. The doctor was in. Appreciate it. JP, Michael, as always. Appreciate you. Swifty, as always. Thank you, my friend. And everyone else that came here. We will catch you guys next time.
Have a good one, guys.